All right, what's good? It's Bullshit for Your Health, the most balanced podcast on the East Coast, the West Coast, the United Continental States of America. I mean, dare I say, the best podcast, the most balanced podcast in the world. Today, we got Javiante contributing. Devontae should be here at some point. And as always, you got me, Jabari, your fly-ass host, currently sitting in some Martine Rose, okay? Let me tell you about my drip lately, Javiante. I've been going up a level. I'm talking, I'm outside and I'm just
Mhm.
wearing my fit like normal. And niggas are walking up to me saying, "Oh my God, bro, is that spring 94? What is it? Oh, autumn winter collection 9091 Martine Rose?" And I'm just like, yeah, man, it's one of my grails. I found it while I
Yeah.
was out in San Fran with my boo thing, just chilling, you know what I'm saying? He's like,
You,
nigga, you got
you
that
gotta
shit
hit them one time with
on.
what you know about it. Like you gotta
Yeah,
hit them
yeah,
with,
yeah. No, I
"Yeah,
mean, homie
I
was
got it
tapped in
on."
because he literally came from one end to the other to be like, bro, I fuck with your t-shirt, and I was like, it's hard. This is why I do it. No, I'm just kidding. But no, we
This
back.
is why I do it.
It's early morning. So I actually it's what December 27th, right?
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. So let's go ahead and you're listening to this. It's going to be the first of the new year. So happy belated Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you guys. I mean, it's going to be a great one. 2026 here. 2025 has been rather rocky politically, economically for a lot of different people. But I do think this last month of December, we're starting to see a lot of things come to a head when it comes to our pedophile in chief. Allegedly, I guess. Still, you should put that over there. I actually got a comment on an episode on YouTube a few weeks back about somebody saying they was gonna sue me. But like, let's get it. I wonder if they'll think the same after this episode. But yeah, we got a big episode for you guys. A few different things we're gonna be talking about today. Some bullshit, of course. The Diddy documentary came out. Ebro in the Morning was canceled after 14 years. Another black man, Sherrone Moore of Michigan head state coach, loses his job after some adultery and suicide scandals. And then Odell Beckham Jr. broke after making $100 million. Some real serious shit we got to get into. It's time to really talk about we need to ban AI. I don't know what positive impact it can have on our society as of right now, and it's having a very negative impact. So maybe it's time that we just go ahead and say, cut the shit, full stop. Jasmine Crockett is pro-Israel. What are we demanding from left politicians in 2026? More Epstein files released, as I said. So let's just get fucking into it, man. Where you want to start today, Jay?
Well, first and foremost, can I just give you a slow hand clap because when you've been threatened to be sued, you kind of made it. You kind of like there's levels, right? And when somebody's threatening to sue you, that means they're watching first and foremost. So shout out to them.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to them for watching. But secondly, that means that you're garnering reactions, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. In this case, maybe negative because nobody sues over positivity. But that's neither here nor there. So shout out to you. Shout out to you. Where do I want to start though? Man, we have so many places and so many topics to start. I got on this Eagles hoodie, so I mean, you left off on talking about OBJ and his brokenness, right? So
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I try to be sensitive to these types of things, but I mean, it sometimes it's hard to kind of garner the sympathy that one may one may be looking for when they're talking about how hard it is after making millions upon life changing money, right? So sometimes you hear it and it kind of falls upon deaf ears. And I think that the overall general public reaction is that is boo hoo, so sad, too bad.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
had even an opportunity to get a fraction of that money, you and I would not be in the same position,
At
right? So
all, at all.
that that's where everybody else is when it comes to OBJ, and
All
it
right.
sucks.
So what are we talking about? Let's get into it for a second. So Odell Beckham Jr., Super Bowl champion, played for a few different NFL teams, including the New York Giants. Basically broke down on the Pivot podcast in last October how not having financial literacy to know the expenses would come with such a massive deal. So again, Odell Beckham Jr., really successful NBA or NFL player. who's grossed over, it looks like 100 million in his time, was basically quoted as saying, "I've always explained to people, bro, you give somebody a 5 year, $100 million contract. What is it really? It's 5 years for 60 million. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's a 12 year. That's a 12 year that you have to spend, use, save, invest, flaunt, whatever. That's crazy." He put flaunt in there and describing how you're supposed to spend the money. I'm
Flaunt,
gonna buy a car.
right?
I'm gonna buy my mama a house. Everything costs money. So if you're spending 4 million a year, that's really 40 million over 5 years. 8 a year. It's
I'm
hard. It's hard. Like, what the fuck is this nigga talking
I,
about, bro?
I'm
Now you
sorry.
hold on.
Life is hard when you got 8 million to blow a year.
Yeah, hold on. And he keeps going. He goes, now you start breaking down the numbers, and it's like that's a 5 year span of where you're getting 8 mil. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and be in the position like, oh, that would last a lifetime. Yeah, this job I sacrificed my whole life for. They're giving me that. I didn't ask for the certain dollar amount or whatever, but we weren't taught about no financial literacy. We weren't taught this skill. Beckham's second contract with the New York Giants, I guess, was worth 90 million over 5. So this is his second contract he's talking about. Because I guess his
Yeah,
rookie contract wasn't even that high.
yeah.
But
We're talking about the big contract, right? So when you come
yeah,
into the NFL, you come on a
because
4 year
where did he
rookie
start?
contract.
Because he started with the Dolphins and then went to the
No,
Ravens.
he
Then
started with the Giants. He was drafted by the Giants.
okay, so he had a rookie contract and then he had a second
Hmm.
contract with the Giants for
Hmm.
90 million, and then it looks like he was
Hmm.
traded to the Cleveland Browns, signing deals
Hmm.
with the Los Angeles Rams worth 1.2 million.
Hmm.
Turn some of it into Bitcoin, and then the deal with the Baltimore Ravens, 15 million.
Hmm.
I, it doesn't matter, bro. Like these numbers are insane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, I agree. I agree. The thing about it, and this is where he's trying to come from. You come into the league on your rookie contract. Everybody knows you're not making quote unquote shit. You're making very bottom of the barrel money when it comes to NFL player money, unless you're like the top 10 draft picks. You actually get a bonus for being the top 10 draft picks, right? I think OBJ might have been pretty high a high draft pick. So um, I want to say he probably got one of those bonuses because he was one of the most coveted athletes at the time when he came out
Hmm.
of college. But
He was everywhere.
not with, yeah, yeah, and notwithstanding that, he played himself to a big contract. The last year in which he was on a contract year, we saw the famous catch, the catch
Oh,
that
the
we
one
saw
was like
around
this.
the. Oh, Jabari, you perfect imitation, my guy, because that's exactly it. And guess what? He got paid buku money, 90 mil, 90 mil, and then he got paid another 15 mil towards the tail end of his career. Now we know when the curtain's closing. Father Time gets us all right. We know when something is winding down, when the sun is
Okay.
setting.
Yeah.
So even if I blew all my money, that 90 mil, that almost 100 mil before my 15 mil contract, guess what I'm gonna do with that 15 million? I'm gonna set myself up. I'm gonna set up my family to be in a position where that 15 mil that other people never touch in their lifetime and are perfectly fine surviving and thriving, I can be similarly positioned as those people.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about cash flow at the end of the day. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to take. This is a nuanced conversation. He's a black man. We're gonna give him some charity, the same way white people do their people. You know what I'm saying? But even if we give him the benefit of the doubt that he signed his first contract at 21, you're thinking about it, just coming out of college, all that fame, all that fanfare. You're probably going to want to splurge a little bit, but he didn't get his 90 million contract extension until he was 25. So if I just put it into my own level of financial literacy journey, yeah, 21, I didn't know shit about shit. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I was trying to do. I just didn't have the cash flow to even experiment with anything of it. By 25, I've been a nurse now for what, 2 years? I'm making, 65, 75,000, the most money I've ever made in my life. And I'm starting
Mhm.
to do little things with it. One of them is just save money. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And so at 25, if I got a $90 million contract, I feel like even if my financial literacy is still to the extent of I've only read a few blogs or articles on the internet, saving money would still be the utmost priority in my, what do you call it? purview. You know what I'm saying? Even if you
Yeah,
put
yeah.
$1 million in the bank out of that 90 million, you know what I'm saying, a high yield savings account. I don't think. I mean, I would have. I am going to assume the NFL doesn't have any type of like 401k situation going on, but like
No, they do. They do.
not to
They
not
have a
not
lot
to
of stuff.
throw not to throw money into a IRA. You know what I'm saying? It's just like little things that you can do, like with literally 100,000 versus 90 million. And let's say even that 90 million, you get it lump sum, it's cut in half for taxes, 45 million. That's still $45 million straight fucking net. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
you think he was doing something smart, right? Because one of his contracts, he I believe had paid out in Bitcoin. So you would think like, okay, that's a smart investment when we're talking about investing in your money into something of that nature, right? Because even at the time he got his Bitcoin contract, that was when Bitcoin was probably less than 30,000. So at this point, even though Bitcoin's on a slump right now and it's hovering around the 80 to 90,000 range, guess what? His money already doubled. His
Well, yeah,
contract
for
already
sure.
doubled.
The only problem with Bitcoin, okay, now we're going to get into the weeds, listeners. I'm sorry, this is not a financial podcast, but straight up, the only problem with Bitcoin is that it's speculative. And one of the things that's hard about Bitcoin was prior to Donald Trump and his corruption, it was very hard to pull out your money once you put it in Bitcoin. Because again, don't get me wrong, speculative investment, it's 10 times doubled since 2014. Like it went from $8,000 a Bitcoin to now being around $90,000, $89,000 a Bitcoin. So the problem is, just because it's valued at that, it's very hard to sell those shares because, i.e., nobody wants to buy it at that high level. But also, there's not a lot of people with the liquid amount of money to buy at that high level, which is why uh, the Trump money laundering scam that's going on with World Financial Mutual and this whole idea of the U.S. government using tax dollars to back a strategic Bitcoin reserve is very criminally suspicious. You know what I'm saying? It's basically a way for him to pay himself out when without that help, there'd be no way you could pull out all that money in Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
All that to say, the fact that nobody just told this nigga, yo, invest the same amount of money like you're taking and put in Bitcoin, or like, take a few $1 million, put it in a mutual fund, put it in something attached to the S&P 500, and just let it sit there. Go ahead. You don't gotta buy your mom $1 million house, which
So,
you could do.
somebody told him this though. They have financial advisors, man.
Yeah,
They have agents. They have financial. That's what I'm saying. Like I cannot offer him the grace, even as a black man. I cannot
yeah,
offer the grace that one could, as a NFL superstar at that.
yeah,
You are given a multitude of resources in order to help you keep your
yeah.
money.
And it's
And
not,
the other,
and you can't even say like his peers wouldn't point him in the right direction. This nigga's hanging around Drake. This nigga's hanging around
yeah,
other
and
moguls.
that's what I was just about to say. That brings me to the other point. Niggas talking about flaunting, right? He's bringing this whole message, and then he brings something in, saying, "Oh yeah, to flaunt." My nigga, you don't need to do that. You don't need. It's not as if you're giving this money and say, "Oh, by the way, you got to show it off. You got to show niggas that you got bread." Right? You don't gotta
Yeah,
buy that bling blow diamond chain. Like, no, you don't gotta do that. You don't
or
gotta
just
go on a yacht party every other fucking month just because you got the bread to go on a yacht party every month.
But it's crazy because even that, like the yacht party every other month, it's still like, bro, like how much money you're making. You could do like I go on a yacht party, like you know what I'm saying. Like what type of yacht? Or like you're not Jeff Bezos, my nigga. Like, but yeah, no. I feel you. I guess what the podcast is saying, listeners, is we have no sympathy for OBJ. This is just another cautionary tale, especially for my black millionaires, my black capitalists out there. You really want to flaunt, you really want to flex, go buy a school. You know what I'm saying? Go invest in your community by fucking buying the neighborhood back and putting all your homeboys from whatever part of your life into housing and start building a city around yourself, because that's the type of shit you could do with 100 million. You know what I'm saying? You gave me 100 million and you taxed it to 45 million. I'm literally going to Southside Richmond, copping every house on the block, moving Not just, I mean, I already got my mom living there, but giving my brother a house. You know what I'm saying? Having him start to uh, uplift himself and his career in certain ways as he's already doing, and just like, bro, like flaunting through community reciprocity. You know what I'm saying? And let's say you do it that way too. You fall on hard times. Who you think gonna got your back? You know what I'm saying? All the niggas that you helped out, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? You won't ever have to come out and be like, I might be broke, but I'm not down and out. So.
It's called
Nah, I hear you, Jay
community.
Dante. No sympathy for OBJ, but looks like Devontae just popped up. What's good, Devontae? Say hi to the people. We are on live stream. This is gonna go on YouTube, my nigga. So do not move around your house to the point where you lose internet connection. Picking up what I'm putting down.
I'm gonna try the internet here a little faulty because it's on an apartment router, so we don't have actual individual internet. So
Okay. Well, you
I
looking good. Well, you looking good right now. So stay in your living room.
all right.
All right, all right. But yeah, man. So sorry to hear, OBJ. I'm sure you're not as broke as you say you are. File for bankruptcy. Go read Rich Dad Poor Dad and figure it out.
Bro, he really hold up. I didn't know that he really filed for like he filed saying he don't have no money.
Well, he came out on the Pivot podcast and was saying he don't got no money. I haven't read any financial fucking statement documents to say this nigga actually is out of money.
Oh, he
Yeah.
tricked it up. Bro, I listened to that podcast, a little of the clips, and heard a lot of people that were professional athletes who I feel are the ones that are able to actually give like real insight compared to people that don't. And they were saying even after paying everybody that you have to pay, that
You good.
you
You
still should have
you,
money.
you still
He
got
said
bread.
that basically what one guy said you did that was stupid was you probably tried to have your family living like you, when he was like what you really supposed to do is like buy your mom's house cash,
Yep.
have it to where you can care for the house, because he said these athletes buy their mama's mansions and
Yeah.
realize that you got to pay people to clean the mansions, you got
Yeah.
to pay people to keep up with the yard, and that accrues other bills. But he was like, let's say you picture mama in a
A regular
A
like a
regular
rancher
three
home,
bedroom, two bath, 1,000
that
square
but
feet. What the fuck we
and
talking
you
about?
can go, and like he said, and you can go do that actually, like in your, or you could pay somebody at a lower value to
You
go cut
pay
her
pause. You
grass.
ready for this? Let's just not be PC. You pay a nice, wonderful immigrant Hispanic woman $100 every 2 weeks. She got that shit spick and span, my nigga. Lemon
Or a
pepper.
crackhead to
Like
cut the grass.
what the? I pay somebody to cut my grass $60 every 2 weeks. Like what the fuck we
Yeah,
talking about?
so
Like
that, but they were saying,
it's a black dude shit. It's not even a Hispanic dude.
I mean, I said crackhead.
Oh. Oh
Yeah, I
no!
didn't say a
That's 20.
race.
Listen, the local crackhead will cut your grass for $20, but he just gonna do the front.
Yeah, yeah.
But
My coworker said a dude knocked on her door. She live off a Hall Street. She
yeah,
said, "Bro, knocked on her door and basically was like, I cut the grass around here $20 and
yeah. No, I know
cut her
exactly
front yard."
nigga. I know exactly who you're talking about. He's cut my grass before. But
but
I digress. Let's move on because we don't need to really stick too long on this.
yeah,
We'll just
no
say,
fucking tears. No tears for OBJ.
yeah,
Manage your
no
money, my
tears
nigga.
are
Oh no, for
actionable.
sure.
And listen. For anybody who might be listening to this, who might be coming into a lot of money, you don't have to take my advice, but what I implore you to do is take somebody's advice. Do a little bit of tertiary research. Go read Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a great way to start. Then go on to some Investopedia links and articles and figure out what type of investment vehicles will be most advantageous for you. But if you want my opinion, as somebody who's made a little bit of money and has been able to make it work a little bit for himself, go get you a Roth IRA. Go get you
Bro,
invested in a few mutual funds. Hold on. Get you
and just
invested in mutual funds. Get a little rainy day savings and buy you a house, and you gonna be good, my nigga. I don't give a fuck
And get a
bro,
when you
financial
at it.
advisor,
You gonna be
man.
good.
do you know who they said one of the best dudes, and it's crazy that actually Lamar Jackson. So his mom is his agent. So when they have to pay that he has no agent fee to somebody that's not in his family. Then I read
Yeah,
also, instead of buying everybody a house, he bought a mansion in some part of Maryland that he lived with his mama and his brother in the house, so it's only one mortgage that he pays. And they were
See,
saying that the house is
see,
so big that it's like you have your own apartment in the house.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
can
it's
have multi-generational homes. A multi-generational home is perfectly fine. It's you putting your mom in that mansion and you still living two blocks down in your own fucking mansion. What are we doing here? We gotta
exactly,
think about
exactly.
the human living experience too. But yeah,
And,
we digress. We digress.
and I know we said we done, but like the multi generational family home, that's something that needs to come back, not just from a millionaire standpoint, but even for niggas right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Listen, I'm
yeah,
living in a
yeah.
multi generational home right now with my mama, bruh. My mama stay in
Hey,
my
look, look,
crib.
look. I do gotta get this story because I just heard it over the holidays. All right, so rest her soul. My neighbor, her last name Johnson too. She might have been my cousin, but my neighbor, she was living there before my peoples lived there. She passed away through dementia and stuff like that. Her family, she had a son, she had a daughter. They sold the fucking house, and guess what, y'all? I got white people as my neighbors. Never had white people a day in my life. My neighborhood does not have white people. Now my neighborhood is starting to have white people. That's neither here nor there. Fast forward to what I learned over Christmas break. Tell me why her grandson now moved across directly from us, right? She's my next door neighbor, adjacent to me. He
Mm-hmm.
moved directly across from us and he's renting a home. She had been living in that home for longer than my family had been living in their home, right? So over 30 fucking plus years, she had been in that home. I'm sure it was paid off or had a very, very, very fucking low mortgage. Why did y'all not save that to keep it in the home? And now
Well,
your grandson is living in the same fucking, looking at the childhood home he grew up in his grandma's house, and he has to rent a home. That's the
I'm
bullshit
gonna
that got
speak on
me.
that.
generational wealth fumbles.
I'm a, no,
Generational
no,
wealth,
no, no.
dog.
I'm
I'm
gonna speak
hyped.
on this. I'm gonna speak on this because I've talked, but y'all, we as these younger folks, a lot of times, because think our families because we grew up in homes like it was a home. But I've talked to other people, and what happens, especially working in the field that I work with, is that a lot of problems is our parents got exploited. So what happens is sometimes you have to sell these homes because they are tied up in all these reverse mortgages. So it actually and so when you think sometimes you're like, oh, my parents have had this home for 40 years. What has happened is, yes, they've had the home, but it's easier to sell it because it's tied up in so much bull crap
Yeah.
that you can't afford. You wouldn't be able to afford to keep it. So I try, but I do think sometimes people sell it because they don't want to manage the upkeep, or they're just like, I don't want the house. But I know on individual basis, sometimes people are like, man, why you sell a home? And it's like,
This
well, the
this
You're
is
home
not
a
was,
wrong, Devontae.
modest
You're not wrong
opinion.
whatsoever. I actually have a personal story what happened with my granny's house, and niggas took a reverse mortgage out on it. But what you got to also understand is, for a lot of situations, for you to take a reverse mortgage on the house, you have to have equity in the house. Like you can't be like underwater on your first mortgage and be like, let me take a reverse mortgage out on it, and you're just getting money for nothing. A lot of
Yeah.
times, niggas take reverse mortgages out on their house after the house been paid off. Like you got pink slip for the house, and it comes in a younger family member. And normally how it goes is this: you say you got your grandma, then you got your mom and your great aunt and your great uncle, and then you got you. And what happened is when you go to try to figure out what's going on with the family house, because you are now at an age where you maybe have got some financial literacy, some education, you realize your great aunt or your great uncle, they fucking been fighting with your mom over shit, and what somebody snuck around back because your granny, is now at the point where maybe she's like still with you, but she's not like with you. You know what I'm
and yeah,
saying?
I know
And and
exactly what you're saying.
and,
And they
and,
they didn't got her to sign. I mean, my one of
and
my
that's the
best
thing.
friends.
And so what I'm saying is basically though these stories at this point in time in 2025 are not foreign, and unfortunately we have to break some of these generational financial curses,
And
right?
I think it's
And
not
so
our generation. I think I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's our generation. I think it was the generation before us. Some
that's
of
what
the
I'm
people that
saying.
are in their
So
40s
Devontae,
and 50s.
no,
Yeah.
Devontae, that's what I'm saying. That's how I'm saying we gotta break them. You know what I'm saying? We,
Because
the fucking OBJ juniors of the world, because we're his age. You know what
yes,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
I agree.
We have to be the
But
ones to come out and be like, my nigga, all because we have the internet in our hands 24/7 a day. Like it is time to
and,
stop letting niggas let ignorance be an excuse. Nigga,
and
Google
yeah,
what a reverse mortgage is.
no, and I'll say this, because like I was talking to some people, some coworkers, and I think like our generation or problem with the generation before us, they're so sometimes they're so prideful and they're like, you young, you don't know shit. And but the issue is a lady at work was saying this, and I don't know if y'all know this or if y'all have experience with this. So when a person dies, they want to see the policy up front that it's been paid on. But I was talking to a lady that said at one point, you when a let's say your grandmother dies, you could take you could say we have 500 right now. We'll do a payment plan for like 2 years to pay for the funeral. But they were saying people would get buried and stop paying it. So my point is saying that, yes, I agree. I think the generation before us tricked a lot of stuff up. And now, like you said, it's up for us, the OBJs of the world, to do right because we do have access to the internet. We have learned from our ancestors' mistakes.
Yeah. Again, so we'll leave you guys with your actionable steps here. Big key point here is individual responsibility with your own financial literacy. And then the second point is start having these conversations among your family members. We are the adults now. We are the ones throwing Christmas parties. We are the ones doing the family gatherings. We are the ones giving presents to nieces, nephews. We are the ones having kids. It's time to step into that role. It's time to start having some difficult conversations. And again, if you're a boomer watching this, if you're an older millennial watching this, maybe it's time for you to sit down and start to let go of some of that hubris and learn from the next generation, bro. But let's stick with football real quick because we have another black man who has fallen to situations that have happened for many years. Did y'all see that Sherrone Moore shit?
Oh boy, did I.
Former Michigan football coach Devontae, you seen this shit?
Yeah, I watched like 2, 3 podcasts on it.
All right, well then go ahead, give us a little breakdown, Devontae, because you seem like a
So
master. Who
Buddy,
is he? What happened? Where are we at
he's
now?
he was the handpicked head coach after they won a national championship, and the former coach handpicked him to take over. So basically, he was having some meh seasons, as Jay would probably say. He probably wasn't doing as amazing, but long didn't matter. So basically, they released a statement immediately saying that he was fired.
Wait,
That like they
so listen, he's a
before
head coach for
everything
who?
came out, before everything came out, they said we fired Sherrone Moore. The university said we have parted ways with him.
University of Michigan fired this
He's
nigga.
Michigan. Yeah,
Okay.
and then and everyone was like, "What the hell?" Because nothing had came. They're like basically released a statement. He has been let go because of personal conduct.
Niggas was ready to get
So
the pitchforks and the posters out, start protesting. And some
yeah,
of this
I
nigga.
think so. Yeah, they basically released a statement saying due to his own personal conduct, we have released him of his duties.
All right, Jay,
This
be
nigga
careful. I
tricked.
think you disconnected and reconnected, but it's all right. Keep going.
This nigga tricked it up, and he decided to go to his crib. I guess spaz out on his wife. Blase, blase. Then he run up to the side bitch crib,
No.
breaking,
Hold up. So he got fired. People are
went
like, "What's
off
going on?" And then the next thing we hear is he ran to his
side
wife
joint crib,
side
pulled a
joint.
knife, pulled a knife out on him, threatened to kill himself and threatened to kill her. But he broke into the house. She didn't even let him in. Then they couldn't find him, and then his wife used the Find My Friends joint and tracked him to a church that he was at, and they arrested him for like breaking and entering, assault, and they wouldn't even let like as rich as he is, they wouldn't even let him out like immediately on bail. Like eventually they did bail him, let him out on bail, but it took like some maneuvering. He did the arraignment. I think is that right, Jay? Is what it was called an arraignment.
Mm-hmm.
He did his from jail.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't give a shit
He
about all that. Real quick. So basically, what this nigga was doing was having an affair
with it on with a young girl that was like an intern or
at
ish, a
his
staff
job,
member.
No, she
which
was
Very
a
which
staff
staff.
was
member. She wasn't an intern. She was,
My
yeah, she
bad, a
was on the
staff
staff.
member. He was
Mm-hmm.
having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member.
Mm-hmm.
right,
Mm-hmm.
which led to the firing.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I mean, dick discipline. Niggas again falling
I
to
mean that's what I thought of when. I mean that's what a lot of people are saying. Like
Because didn't
You
the
can
nigga just sign like some type of big deal for a few
he
$1 million?
signed an extension, but then they're saying that because you were like a lot of those coaches, Jones, they have clauses that
Hold up. Just tell me what the extension was. How much money did
I
Nicky
don't
get?
know what I don't know the numbers, but I know he did get a lot of chicken.
Yeah, it was for a few mil. I think it was
Yeah.
about
It was like one
So
of the mills
five
because
mil.
University of Michigan's a pretty big school.
Yeah.
so
I think
again,
it's for
what
about
we
five
have
mil.
here is an older black man. Looks like he could be in his late 40s. Older
No, he
black
Yeah.
man.
wasn't even 40 yet. He was only 30. He was 39.
Okay. Late
No,
30s.
no, 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 no. No, what I was saying is no, because a part of it is that he was so young to get that amount of money.
Yeah.
Because most coaches in the big leagues are in their 60s, some are even in their 70s. So they were saying, bro, you tricked up your rest of your fucking life.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Because
He massive fumble. But what I'm saying is again, like, I just want to juxtapose this situation to a situation we saw last year. You got a black man doing some incredible things in his career professionally, losing it all because he was fallen to temptation, and not just any type of temptation. He's a black man who felt the temptation from a white
he-
bitch. Okay,
he's a bunny
a young
hopper.
white bitch. Okay, how long are we gonna see this archetype? Because we just last year saw Shannon Sharpe fumble the
I
bag
think that
to
wasn't even
take
last year,
shit.
bro. That was
That,
earlier
that was
this
this
year.
year. That was
Yeah,
2026 or 2025. That was in
Same
yeah,
year.
it
Florida.
was earlier
Yeah.
this year.
Same year.
So again, it's really hard. I mean, I don't really see a lot of sympathy online. And again, we don't got to stay here because the story speaks for itself. But Jesus
No, he was
Christ,
wrong.
bro,
He
why?
was wrong. I mean,
No, I
regardless
mean, of course
of
he was wrong, but like, what do we? How do we get to a point in society where niggas stop making these mistakes, bro?
We won't.
we won't because lust is forever. I mean, bro, Adam from biblical days, bro.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Tricked up.
Nigga
Adam
said,
tricked up his life because of a
nigga,
broad.
nigga said, it's been happening since day one. Nigga ate an apple for some pussy, my nigga. Like, Jesus
But am I
Christ.
lying?
Jesus
Am I
So
Christ.
lying?
So this is what my thoughts on the situation though overall, right? We got a couple things going on. We got the nigga with the bad dick management, right? The bad
Mm-hmm.
dick discipline. But we also got in the political aspect, right? Because when we think about it, we got to know Michigan football is one of the biggest football college programs. And one of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest rivalries in college football is Michigan versus Ohio State. And a part of the coaches is the understanding when you get this job, you have to beat Ohio State. You can lose to any other team, legitimately. You got to beat Ohio State. And he also wasn't upholding that end of the bargain. So it became a little bit political where it was rumblings where everybody knew he was having this affair. But because he started to
Oh.
lose, winning cures all. There have been multiple reports came out that people knew in the staff, knew in the organization. But winning cures all. So they didn't give a fuck. They was like, oh yeah, go ahead, have your little side piece. Do your thing. But then he started to lose, and then he started to lose to Ohio State. I mean Ohio State twice, and then they was like, we don't know if we should have gave this black man this job, right? Every
Because it was the
coach,
first black head coach of Michigan,
exactly. Every
and
coach
there's not even that
engages in
many.
something like this. Every coach, not every coach, but a large majority, especially coaches at these big schools. What happened was they looked at his clause and then they wanted to find something actionable to fire him. So then they
Oh, so
somehow
they wouldn't have to pay him out. Yep.
exactly.
Because if he had lost, even if he
Mhm.
was losing, you still have to get paid out
Yep.
your money.
If they would have
And
And
fired
bro, and
him
again, and
for
again,
no reason. They found cause to fire him, so he doesn't have any of that guaranteed money that he just signed for the new extension. They can now find a new head coach, right? Because it's a lot of head coaches that are being coveted right now. That are so they're looking like it kind of played out perfectly into Michigan's hands. Trust and believe, though, y'all. A lot of reports came out that said people within this organization knew that it had been going on for a long time. The only difference
well,
was he started to lose.
no. And like, listen, I hear you, and I know you're not saying that to excuse his actions,
Oh no, fuck him.
but what
He had a family.
infuriates me about that situation, and it goes into the question I posed to you guys about how long are we going to continue to see this situation, is that I am sick and tired of seeing black men who are thrust into roles of innovation or are placed on a pedestal for doing something great fall victim to their own demons in a lot of
But-
ways because they find themselves to be in a position of power, and whether they know it consciously or subconsciously, like they start to think they can get away with shit that like niggas ain't never been able to get away with, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I
Again,
mean,
I'm not saying that it's right for anybody to get away with this type of behavior, but again, especially as a black man, you are not only having an affair, but you're having an affair with a staffer who's a young white woman in a sport that not even 10 years ago, within the past 10 years, crucified a black star football quarterback for taking a knee. And then just last
but he
year,
was married. He was
hold up,
married
hold
to
up,
a white
hold up.
woman.
I don't give a shit. That's even worse.
But no,
You're
no,
married
the
to a white
thing,
woman cheating on a white woman with a younger white woman in a fucking
but then
white
the thing
arena,
is,
a white dominated
there
sport.
was a lot of stuff
Hold
with
up,
him
hold up,
anyway.
hold up. Let me land this point with what I'm saying though. Is what I'm saying is the archetype of the black man who gets successful in a sport dominated by white people that has a lot of callbacks to how this country uses black bodies to make money finds himself comfortable because he gets close to proximity to whiteness because he's married to a white woman. He's lauded by white people, but he still finds out you're a nigga at the end of the day because when you make a mistake, instead of figuring out how to, maneuver so that niggas can still keep their job or keep their money, yeah, you fucked up. We're gonna get you out of here, but we'll let you keep the money. Nah, you still a nigga, bro. Like you have to again, like I get it. We're all human. Niggas gonna make mistakes. But every time a nigga makes a mistake that has irreparable or trickle down damage, it's just so fucking sad to see. And again, bro, in a year where we just saw a nigga named Shannon Sharpe lose $100 million deal for fucking with some young white bitch, doing some shit that, again, multiple people, including Monique, came on to a screen and
Warned
told
him
him to
about
his
it.
face. It's like,
Mhm.
what? It's like, bro, like, it's like, this shit's just embarrassing, dog. Like, go read any little book. And again, like not to harp too much on the racial component, but it's not
I mean,
lost
the
on me.
cat,
Hold up, it's
nah,
not
cat's
lost
just
on me.
going.
It's not lost on me that the type of black man we're talking about too are black football players who have been groomed since college to have deference towards white society. I know what we literally got stories from a few years back of how you have black players on collegiate campuses that want to date black or want to be a part of the black community or whatnot, and the coach be like, nah, we'd rather see you on this side of the campus. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like how long are we going to not demand and expect a higher level of cultural
Si- Side
literacy
note,
from niggas, bro?
Side note before we move on, though, right? Because I do think that there is a slight shift changing. So I do want
Mm-hmm.
to just give a quick shout out to my black basketball kings that's doubling up and proposing and marrying these beautiful black women.
Hell
For
yeah.
example, we got Donovan Mitchell and Coco Jones. Just yesterday, we had Big Carl Anthony Towns' cat propose to Miss Jordan Woods, I believe that's her name.
Hey,
Oh
bro,
no, no,
we know that ain't real, Jay.
that ain't real, man. Stop it.
You,
Anyway,
you know he
anyway,
want a man, bro. You know at the end of the day, that's a cover up,
anyway.
bro.
Shout out. The point that I'm
When
making
he
is
find a black
shout
king
out
for
to these
himself,
black basketball athletes that's finding what seems to be Clay Thompson also could be mentioned in this. That's finding what seems to
Bro,
be
Klay
good,
Thompson winning,
good
bro.
women, good black women that's not ran through in the industry. Black women that seems that will actually
got some sense.
yeah,
The
so that's
misogyny.
the only point that I wanted to make since we was on that comment. That's
Because they
Yeah,
got
yeah.
plenty. They got plenty. A lot of some of them players. I get what you said perfectly.
yeah,
Because some of them got black women or got babies by black women, but
Industry Jones.
yeah,
Industry Jones.
he's like,
Bro,
dang, bro. Bro,
again, again.
have y'all seen the hold up real quick though. Have y'all seen there's these two NBA players and they're just swapping this girl. I think they all got different baby mamas, by different babies by this girl. I don't know
Oh
who
yeah,
she is. She like an
she was
Instagram model, but these boys young. It's like
yeah,
Brandon Ingram and this other boy got they got the same baby mama. I'm like,
yeah. She's pulling the Brittany Renner,
how
catching
do
them
these
young,
women how do these women keep getting it? Oh yeah, Brittany Renner and her baby daddy going through it.
bro.
Nigga,
It's
they be
not okay.
threatening
So
each
pause.
other.
Okay, not to stay on this too long, but again, we've had this conversation plenty of episodes ago where we're talking about how grooming is not a one-way street. You know what I'm saying?
Oh hell
It's
no.
not just niggas that groom young bitches. It's old bitches, especially in this baddification era, especially in this video vixen or this new age video vixen era, where you have women who are able to masterfully use their sex appeal to create whole careers on themselves from just posting pictures on Instagram who, yeah, be hanging around these college basketball games, these new NBA recruits. You know what I'm saying? The fucking
I
go
mean, look at Drea Mitchell is the perfect example. Her actual biological son is older than her current baby daddy.
yeah, and let's and again like
And that is like you said, definitely predatory behavior
the
because
same way we
you
look at Bill Belichick and his young girlfriend and just kind of like,
they should be they
you
should
know
be
what I'm saying?
crucified. But
We
that's
got to look
why I
at the Drea
say,
Missile situation the same way.
but that's
But
why my
listen,
belief in feminism isn't good, bro. But that's
what?
a
Whoa,
conversation.
whoa, whoa. Nah, that's not what we're
But that's a
saying.
conversation
But
for another cup of coffee.
Left her.
but what I'm saying is this is just like, and we have this argument or we have this fight a lot about what we expect from people, Devonte, and I feel like you are very good at giving an empathetic, if not not a conciliatory, but like an empathetic, like, well, you know, we're all human idea to it. And I can get a little bit stubborn and be like, nah, niggas need to do better, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I get it. We all fall, or we all have temptation. That's what discipline is for, bro. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
for sure.
Without
Discipline.
discipline, you fall victim to your own desires every fucking time.
For sure. There's this
And
thing on Instagram where he's a Russian UFC fighter and he basically goes through like discipline keeps you on the straight. Like every person needs he's like some men seek lust and desire, other he's like boys seek lust and desire, men seek discipline. And he was like discipline keeps you, on the right track. Discipline keeps your life moving the way you want.
Yeah.
And I think like, yeah, and I think like, but I think like that's where cultural things have to change. I think that's where fathers need to teach their fathers or male figures need to teach their sons about discipline. About it's good to just have one woman because
listen,
a
it's
lot of
not just
cats
fathers. It's fathers, role models,
models.
friends.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
Hold each other accountable. Because again,
accountable. But
we one of our generational curses, one of our generational traumas is the terrorism that the black household, the black family unit has faced over many years. You know what I'm saying?
for
And how
sure,
that has been represented in a lot of different ways, right? Even when you get to a black family that has the titular nuclear family style, there's a lot of trauma in there because a lot of niggas trying to keep that will start giving homage to different types of worldviews that kind of constrict the ability for black youth to be as vibrant, as free as they want to be. That's a conversation for a different day. What I'm saying is, in contemporary spaces right now, every day is a chance to be better. Every day is a chance
oh,
to do better. So
for
challenge
sure.
yourself, listeners. Challenge yourselves. I personally do a sober month every fucking November. I've been doing it now for 6 years. The first month I tried to do it, I was nervous as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? Looking at my own self, going, damn, bro, I've gotten to such a youth or such a pattern of my habits, such a pattern of what I'm used to. I'm a little bit nervous about abstaining from these things. Can I do it? I did it once, then I did it twice, then I did it 3 times, then I did it 4 times, and like it's like, oh, it gets easier. And you know what? There is power in knowing. I
Oh,
can
I
say
mean,
no. Nothing has power over me, type shit.
clarity
Not
is
yet.
amazing but I
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, we people have to get to a point. So the jump for real is sobriety doesn't mean you'll get clarity because motherfuckers still got want to have the ability to function. You can still be sober and not have the ability to look at your shit. I think like you have like we do put too much emphasis on like drugs and vices and women and gambling will convolute your mind. But a motherfucker could abstain from that and still be a trifling as a bitch because they don't have the ability to capture their own thoughts, or they don't want to sit with those thoughts, because so they just do something else or think of something else. So like I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, is having those, like you said, having conversations, pushing people's thinking limits, making people uncomfortable in their thoughts. Because even with sobriety, you still have to be willing to sit with those thoughts and say, damn, I do think like this, or damn, my family did move like that. And I think like people being able to, like you said, just because you grew up in a positive nuclear black household, it could still be chaotic. You know, too many stories we've heard of somebody, oh, my daddy was a good man. Then you get to your daddy's funeral and three other kids show up talking about that was my daddy too.
But listen, what you're talking about, I think, is a good amalgamation of everything we need to become better individuals. I'm specifically talking about one of the building blocks, which is abstaining from vices, which is taming your lust, which is being able to abstain from desires for a little bit. Because yes, I agree. Even if you're able to do with that, even if you're able to do that, or maybe if you're not impacted by those same vices, you can still be a fucked up person. You know what I'm saying? But what I am saying is that like it's a lot harder to be a good or fully fulfilled, actualized person if you are at the mercy of your
Yeah,
vices. You know what I'm saying?
because
Like
we ain't never
I don't give a
we ain't
fuck.
never
I don't give a
we ain't
fuck
never
how
hear
faithful
Hitler
you're
have.
trying to be, bro. If you can't put down the bottle every day and you going outside, it's gonna be a lot harder to stay away from temptation than the nigga that ain't never needed to touch a bottle a day in his life. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we ain't never hear Hitler hitting the bottle, bro, and he was a fucked up individual, bro.
What are you
That's
talking
because
about?
Hitler
Hitler was
did
a
all
drug
other
addict. He
fucking
was on
drugs.
meth.
Hitler was on
What are you
Valium.
talking
Hitler was
about?
on fucking
I know,
cocaine.
hey, bro.
Hitler was
I
on
know
fucking
Hitler.
acid. No, he was
I
on
know
Hold up,
Hitler
hold
was
up, hold
everything.
geeked
up.
up,
Just
bro.
because you said that, just because like the myth niggas be
Yeah.
like believing, oh, Hitler was straight laced and he was
Everybody
still
knew Hitler was on that
a
shit.
terrible guy.
I didn't know Hitler was
I
geeked.
gotta
I
That
didn't
nigga
know
find
used to
Hitler.
that
grind the
nigga.
fuck out his teeth.
I didn't know
Hold
Hitler
up,
was
bro.
geeked up.
Nah, he used to grind
Yeah,
the fuck out
geeked
his
up
teeth. Yeah.
like a
He was looking for
paraplegic
it. Either
nut. Look at this shit. Look at this shit.
Yeah, there you go. The rocking. Yeah, that nigga was drugged. A
That nigga
druggie.
is on one, bro.
A
That nigga,
terrorizing crackhead. That's what the fuck Hitler was.
hey,
that
bro,
nigga
he was a
is
Drugs.
meth head, bro. Crack won't
that
invent it yet.
bro. That nigga
Yeah.
is like Trinidad James. He popped a Molly. He is sweating, bro. But no, listen. But that was the thing.
What
Actually,
about Stalin? Did Stalin?
a
Did
bit of
Stalin have a drug?
I digress. With Hitler, one of the things of that we know about the Nazis was that they were giving their soldiers speed, meth, and other amphetamines to have them like do their ideal war of like Blitzkrieg or whatever. That's why they were a little bit successful taking over so much of Europe. But I digress, bro.
They said Stalin. See, Stalin didn't use drugs because he had strict anti-drug policies in the Soviet Union.
Yeah, I think he just got hard off of power. But either
and
way,
killing a lot of his own people.
either way, actionable items, my niggas. You gotta control your vices. You gotta control your lust, or you might find yourself in a position to win and losing based off of the fact you couldn't defeat yourself,
Bro,
bro. Which is
all
so
jokes
sad.
aside, that nigga Sherrone Moore, cause this cat was talking about, he was like, yo, you 39, you young in your career, and nobody gonna touch you again, bruh. Nobody gonna touch you again. To be a coach. So it's like, yeah, he better hope he can make his money stretch, or he gonna be the next OBJ. He ain't touching no 100 mil.
Hey, man, we all make mistakes. None of us are.
And the bitch,
Pause.
you
Let me
gotta
not
think
say
about
that.
your
Some of us
bitch
might
gonna
be
leave.
irredeemable. Some of us might be irredeemable. But like, let's move on. Let's move on. We don't gotta give this man no more time and space. We only got 2 hours today. I want to get into somebody else who, depending on how you look at it, might benefit from having clarity about their position in the world, in the space, um, about speaking in certain tones when they feel like they're on top of the world, and then, you know, how that looks when you get humbled a little bit. Uh, we had a very tumultuous hip hop battle last year. You know, a lot of people was talking shit. A lot of people was making noise. And I think in 2025, we're seeing a lot of different landscape changes that have a lot of people who are gleefully delighting over the destruction or possible destruction of another musician entertainer's career. All that to say, Ebro in the Morning
Totally, yo.
is the most recent victim, it seems, of the shifting going on in hip hop currently. So the classic morning show with Ebro, Laura Styles, and what?
And the Jew.
And, whoa, Rosenberg has
You didn't
ended
emphasize the bird part.
after 14 years on the Hot
Look
97
at
morning
you.
show,
He
radio
just
show
said that
in
on
New York City. And you know what's
Rosenberg.
crazy?
No,
But past your anti-Semitism, you know what's crazy? Uh, I just got the vibe of what it's like to listen to the Hot 97 morning show, being in New York and like in the morning going grocery shopping and hearing it in the grocery stores type shit. You know what I'm saying? So how are we feeling? Like it was
fuck.
pretty abrupt. Ebro himself, I don't know. Did y'all watch the video of Ebro talking about it when
No,
he was
I
sitting in
haven't
the
watched the
car?
video. I've heard about it though.
It was a little
He,
sad. It was a little sad. Let me see if I can find this video for y'all, bro. He looked defeated. He looked dejected. Of
Well, I
course, you
think
did
had
he get
every
his
huh?
Did he get his money? I stopped watching them like 10 years ago, bro.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah. Okay,
thought they
here we
were
go.
They're
Here we
pretty
go.
irrelevant.
Here we go. You look around all the major media outlets. Look at all the major media outlets. How you turn this shit up? All of them. Look at all of them. They all gotta fold up because they all trying to renew their licenses. They all, well, in this particular situation, we'll get into more specifics another time. Bro just got, bro's a casino owner. You know those 3 licenses that they got here in New York City for the casino? The guy that owns the shit owns one of the casinos licenses. He got to raise $500,000, bro. $500 million, excuse me. All right, I don't know what the fuck Ebro talking about. Okay, but he basically. We'll get into
no,
more
I know what he's
specifics
talking
another
about.
time.
It's a lot of political shit that's going on behind that,
But
and
yeah,
I, to
not
speak
not
on
not.
it, they should have seen the shit coming because they canceled the Flex show, and Flex is
But
damn near bigger than what I believe the Ebro morning show, right? But
yeah,
when they canceled that shit, I said, oh, New York's media is done. Like New York radio, hip hop radio is done. They canceled that in
I
another.
mean, rate. I mean, radio for a long time has been done. Podcasting has
Mhm,
overtaken radio
mhm,
10 years ago. Ever since Joe Rogan's been huge, the Brilliant Idiots, the Breakfast Club have moved to primarily showcasing
mhm,
their interviews on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
And they've been
mhm,
doing 100,000 different uh, uploads on different online platforms for years now. You know what I'm saying? You even
mhm.
have what's her name? She was the old third co-host on the Breakfast Club.
Angela Yee.
Angela
Angela Yee
Yee.
doing big things with her show
Anna Lee.
online. And I guess what I found interesting about this entire ordeal was how much hubris Ebro, Rosenberg, not really Laura Styles, but they would talk about certain situations developing like around other entertainers throughout the last 10 years, you know,
Like
whether
it
it was the
couldn't be
Drake
them.
news, whether it was academics, or most famously, because I remember when this first happened, but it's been making the reigns again. But do y'all remember when Ebro interviewed Lil Uzi Vert?
Oh yeah, and like
Yeah,
picked on him.
yeah, Ebro during the SoundCloud era, and this was
He's
like
like
early on.
freestyle for me,
Yeah, yeah,
and he was like
and
freestyle to RoboCop. I'm like,
this is
what?
this is when Uzi was literally what do you call it? Love is rage. Like this is Uzi when he had like
That was his
uh
first. He was the purple hair,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he
Well,
was
he had
still
green
dating
hair. He still
Britney.
had green hair back then. You know what I'm
And
saying?
he was dating Britney. It was like Super Saiyan.
Yeah, yeah.
He had just hit. He had. It was before Money Longer. He had like a little joint with like, who the
All right, here we
fuck
go.
are you?
Here we go.
I don't know, man. I respect the fact he fell off at the end. Yeah. Put another beat on. Shit. Nah, because all I got is old man beats and you're not built for that. Hey, listen. It's going to be a lot of young guys coming up here and they ain't going to want to rap on that. I'm trying to tell you, it's changing. Yo, look. It's changing. I hope they change. I hope they change, bro. I hope they change. I don't know, man.
Basically, he said they hope they change because he's still gonna be here. Hold up, let me see. We
I'm
get
telling you right now, if you put on one of them old beats, I'm not rapping on it. Straight up. You see me, bro? I am a rock star, bro. I'm not rapping on that type stuff. We'll decide. Let me hear it, and I'm letting you know. My fans won't be disappointed. They get it. No, they will. No, they won't. I hope I piss your friends. Your fans gonna be disappointed. All the old guys, they're gonna be. Yeah, they don't even know why I'm on here right now. I'm telling you right now, if you put on one.
Basically, there's one where he basically says he'll be here in 10 years and Uzi won't be here in 10 years. Please go listen to that interview. It's a masterclass on hubris, in my opinion. It's also exemplary, I think, of the last conversation we were just talking about, how older black people tend to not like to give credit to the next generation or young people and feel like because they are in this seniority space that there is no credibility to what the younger people are doing. And I think in all areas of life, that's that's a pretty big fallacy to have. I mean, you look at where a lot of revolutionary movements have gained a lot of energy from. It's from the youth on college campuses. You look at most fields of, I mean, rap specifically, art. It's a young man's game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm for the first time in my life, I'm at a point where like I really don't know if I'm tapped in as much as I would want to be because a lot of the younger music, a lot of the young guys making music, make music that doesn't really resonate with me. I mean, this SD kid, that shit's hard, but like Zoe Osama, all these other young niggas, like it's been hard to really keep up with
Yeah,
them. But what
I
I
mean, look who had the biggest concert of this year, bro. That
NBA,
people talked about.
but even NBA YoungBoy, I feel like isn't even
He's
considered a young. He's young himself, but he's been in the game since like 2016, 2015, 2014. That like, is he really considered? That's a 10-year career. I'm talking about niggas that came out two years ago. The double XL freshman list from this year. Do you know any of them names, Devontae?
no, and I don't think so. I will say the last few lists, a lot of them niggas gonna fall off because they just did it on like
Listen,
big hits.
but
Like
listen,
but
we can have
life is everything's a young man's game. I mean, I think at the
exactly.
end, I mean, a guy
And
at my gym, a guy at my gym, he's been in IT for years, and he told me, he said, "I'm about to retire," and I said, "What?" And he was like, "It's a young man's game." He said, he's like, after a while of anything, it becomes a young man's game. I'm too
and
old. I'm too old. Think about your field. Doctors retire. People retire. Like people retire because they
not
older.
really. But I'll liken it to my field in a second. But what I'm basically saying, where Ebro went wrong, in my humblest of opinions, is he didn't stay in the reality of the world he lived in, which in the arena, especially of entertainment, art, music, it's very collaborative. There's a give and take that I think broadcasters, interviewers need to maintain when it comes to artists, right? There's a level of respect that even if you don't necessarily see the vision, you don't necessarily see the reason why so many people might like this artist, a part of your job as a broadcaster or interviewer is to dig a little bit deeper and figure that type of stuff out, you know? So when you
Mhm.
have a young 20-year-old Uzi on your radio station, he's saying he's a fucking rock star, instead of using your own worldview and being like, well, I know a rock star to be, you know, Buck Cherry, or I know a rock star to be Jimi Hendrix, or I know a rock star to be Metallica, like, ask him, like, what does that mean? Like what part of, like, what makes you think you're a rock star? What music have you put out? What influences,
And my
style wise, make you think this is your persona? And I feel like Uzi, being from what he's given in interviews since that interview and what he did around that time, he could have given you a brilliant interview, similar to the likes of like how somebody like Adam 22, back when he was starting his interview journey, was interviewing a lot of artists who were very low buzz, might have had one big song, and then went on to become legendary icons in the space.
So
Well, the
then
issue
my
with people
issue,
like
my thing with
the issue.
Ebro and everything is that it gets to a point where you have these hip hop like snobs per se, right? Like
Yep,
they
that's
they
exactly
Pretentiousness.
they hide behind
protection. Yeah,
being a hip hop purist, but it's more so just
that's the
being
word.
pure.
That's the actual word, purist.
Yeah, yeah, but well, there are hip hop purists that recognize, the younger generation's talent and stuff. It's more
The
so
rappers,
the ones
the
that, yeah,
rappers, the people who
yeah, the
make the
rappers
music.
themselves, right? They are
Yeah,
purists, but they
usually
recognize the
because
younger
again, you've
generation.
seen,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
let's say, okay, because again, the plane I was trying to land was saying, if Adam 22 had taken the same uh, interview tactic that Ebro did with Lil Uzi, that he did with XXX Tentacion, Adam 22 wouldn't have one of the only pieces of historically documented XXX Tentacion interviews that can be used for the next 40, 60, 100 years to give young people, to give historians, hip hop purists, an idea of like what this artist was when he was alive and he was making music. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
When you
yeah.
take
But
the
my other
Ebro
thing though
approach,
is that
I
Ebro,
mean,
he feels like he has his pedestal,
for sure.
and
And
he
I
feels
think
like he doesn't have to, right? You get on the Ebro in the morning show, it's like, oh, I kind of made it, right? Like, of course you haven't made it, but that's the next footstone, right? He feels like he's a gatekeeper into the culture. That's why he was like, I'm gonna be here in 10 years, because for him, he is the one of the gatekeepers entering into the
yeah,
mainstream sphere,
but
right?
I agree with you, and I think a lot of these, like, I think like because I've talked to my dad. My dad is really big into hip hop, and like when we were like, he only likes like even the newer guys. He's only really of a fan of like guys that sound like the '90s hip hops, like
Mm-hmm.
uh so like guys like Dave East or
Mm-hmm.
like people that have more of that 90s feel. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, hip hop is so expounding. And like I'd be even trying to like I think people don't realize how big of the genre. And I've been a big believer also that hip hop should have more subgenres than they have,
I
because there are
agree.
people that make lo-fi. There are guys like MF Doom that make boom bap, Little Brother. There's gangster rap. Atlanta has the trap sound. There's hyphy. Oh, is it hyphy from the Bay?
Yep.
yeah,
So so I think like when the thing is, it's like, yes, it sounds different, but it's all hip hop is under the pretense of just it's more of a spoken word and rapping.
Yeah.
It's under
bro.
just like you're
It's a
actually
catch-all.
rapping, but
But listen,
everybody,
but listen,
but
I
old heads, I would say they feel like they were around when it started. But the crazy Joan is talking to my mom and shit. Like when NWA came out, they was like, "Them motherfuckers never gonna last because it's too vulgar. It's too this. It's too that." Look,
yeah, but that's the
so
thing about I
people
hear
bite that. People eat their words.
I hear what you're saying when you're talking about what hip hop means to you and what it is defined by based off of historically the people who have made the first hip hop tracks. But what I hear and what I think hip hop in its essence really is a counterculture movement to music. You know,
It's protest music.
hip hop in and of itself wasn't accepted by mainstream label organizations. It had to break through the doors. And I feel like what's more hip hop than doing something innovative? The niggas who hold the gates to the door saying we won't let you in and carving out a space for yourself regardless of what they say, based off of what the people are feeling, right? What is more hip hop
For
than
sure.
that? Just like punk music. Like punk music was a counterculture movement to what capitalism was forcing you to listen to on the airwaves. You know what I'm saying? It's what house
Mhm.
music was. It was a rejection of the death of disco and a more masculine version of what the masses of capitalism wanted you to fucking feel. So again, it's like for you to say you are a gatekeeper to this counterculture artistic movement, see the youth coming in saying, hey, I'm doing something different. and having
But
full energy to embrace that and saying, you know what, nah,
I don't believe in.
I'm gonna keep
But
you
like
out.
to me, I
I'm gonna
don't
keep
believe
on.
in
Hold up.
gatekeeping anything. But
But
I
but
don't
but
believe
but,
in
but
gatekeeping.
I agree. I
Mm,
agree. And
mm.
no, listen. I get to that. I'm getting to that point. When it comes to art, art is only what it. Okay, in my humblest of opinions, art is only art based off of the perception of the one viewing the art. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's the person who made it, whether that's the person who buys a ticket to go see it, whether it's the person who pirates it online to like take an interest in it, like it's subjective. That's what makes art so beautiful. Everybody gets something different from it. And so
Body supreme.
the idea of like cultural like what do you call it when you steal culture, what's that word again, cultural appropriation.
Appropriation.
One of the things that gets people so up in arms when they talk about art that they hold dear is when they think somebody is experiencing or digesting the art without contributing anything to it. It's like a meal, right? If you come up to a potluck, you don't bring nothing, you're just eating from the fucking table. Niggas who all brought you to the table gonna looking at you probably like, damn, a little greedy much, right? But if you're contributing to it, I think oftentimes the people who are also contributing to the art don't look at you like a bottom feeder, right? Which is why like you get these conversations when it comes to hip hop and black culture specifically, because art is so intertwined with the cultural narrative that is the black American experience. Most people who create the art, right? Let's just take hip hop for example. When you get somebody who comes in who might not look like the general look that consumers of hip hop would say they look like, they don't give a fuck. They embrace them because they're contributing to that meal. Now again, don't get me wrong. You do get your individuals who sometimes do get a little bit into their own ego. We're seeing Tyler Creator doing it right now and say, that's not hip hop. You guys are kind of looking like you're doing it for different reasons. But in large part, you do see a lot of like the old heads who have had illustrious careers or very successful relationships with the art form of hip hop look at new guys coming in and being like, "Oh, that's awesome! They're doing it their own way. It seems like they're contributing. They're keeping the spirit of the art form alive. Why would I be mad at it? You know what I'm saying?" And I feel like if Ebro
I'm
had
with
taken
you.
a more constructive look at where his role in hip hop was, it's, hey, let me not gatekeep and try to keep this pure, but let me try to keep this art form alive. So when I do get an Uzi Vert in here, and I feel like maybe he's not experiencing hip hop in the same way that I experience it, let me not use it as a way to be like, you don't deserve to be here. Let me show you what hip hop means to me, and maybe break or open up your worldview a little bit, so that in 10 years, when Uzi, who clearly can rap, clearly studies this shit because he went on like a 6 year run of like rapping, not putting out like dance rap, but like rapping. I could have been like, oh, I contributed to that. Maybe when he came up to this station and I was talking to him about like the my purist take on hip hop, it struck a nerve with them. You know what I'm saying? And so like I think even if you look at it from a selfish preservation type of vibe, when you just look at how can I contribute, how can I help everybody maybe enjoy this art form to a fuller extent versus like how can I keep niggas out, especially when it just comes to art. Yeah, you would avoid a lot of these pitfalls. You know what I'm saying? You really
Well,
would.
I
Like,
think
For
I
sure.
think so. When it comes to like art and gatekeeping, right, is one thing to not gatekeep, but it's the other thing when you're battling the people who want to dismiss the contributions or try to, say that this art form isn't uniquely a specific piece, right? Nobody's ever going to tell the Japanese origami isn't theirs, right? Nobody's ever going to tell, Latin America that the Meraki
Salsa.
isn't there. Yeah, so right, but we steadily get outsiders telling us what hip
Well,
hop is or what hip hop isn't. That's just on the little gatekeeping part. I
but
think
oh
pop,
we
yeah,
do.
yeah,
pop.
and I think,
We
and
need to, we need
I
to be a
do
little bit
agree
better
with
with
that
gatekeeping.
because I think
But
the issue, but I
but
think that's gatekeeping
but
in a
hold on, hold
certain
on.
different. I'm sorry.
No, no, you're good. You're good. Just on the other part that before we move on, and it's not necessarily a disagreement, but I do think that Jabbar, you said hip hop is a young man's game. I do
Mm-hmm.
think that as of this year, especially, that has been broken. Like that actual mode has been broken. We have been had so much great content from older hip hop heads that's
Mass appeal.
you know
Specific.
older than 40 and plus, right? We had Mob Deep, we had Lloyd Banks, we had Clips, we had a lot of
Ghostface.
Ghost Ghostface killed that shit. Just a
Listen,
lot of
Ghostface.
listen, listen,
so
listen.
yeah,
I
I'll
hear
just
you
leave it at that.
guys. I hear you guys, but you guys are also talking about just a portion of hip hop. Like, because I'm telling you right now, like SD Kid, the young niggas, the niggas who are
Mhm.
between the ages of 16 and 21, they're loving that shit right now. You know,
Yeah,
But
you know
yeah,
what
but
I'm
that
saying?
that's
My
but
little,
that
my
that
younger, my little brother who's 23, he's not listening to any of those albums that you just
yeah.
mentioned,
but
not
that's
because he
still
doesn't
a
love hip
portion
hop.
of hip hop.
What are
But
you
that's
talking about?
still a portion. So you
That's what
said,
I
oh,
said. No, 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 Devontae. That's what I said. I'm just
oh,
literally. What I'm disagreeing with is my statement earlier that Jay was saying that it's not a young man's game anymore this year. I'm saying no, no. I think the genre has just been able to thrive and live for such a long period of time that for the first time we're able to see older acts who have survived and who have thrived long enough to continue making music. It's the same way that rock and roll,
yeah, yeah.
like, or hard rock, is still. No, what?
I would say it was a young man's game at one point because, like you said, a lot of our black rappers didn't live long enough to. And the thing is, the
But what I'm
oldest,
saying,
we have to remember too, the
but
oldest.
when I say young man's game, what I'm saying is like these acts you guys are talking about would be considered legacy acts at this point, right? Yes or no? Right?
Yeah,
Sure.
It's the
but
same
I
way
would
that
still
like
say the
in
biggest, the big.
2010 and 2011, you still had Metallica going on tour, but you had new bands that were doing a new version of rock called pop punk, like Fall Out Boy, coming in and sweeping the masses. Avenged Sevenfold, like all of these different types of rock bands that were probably pushing the culture into a new innovative direction while still having what some rock and roll purists would say is like the essence of the art form. You know what I'm saying? Now, white people do this thing where, yeah, those subgenres the fuck out of their music, but I think hip hop has done that to an extent too. You saw that with the SoundCloud era when like these niggas came out and they were like, "Yo, that's hip hop," but that's
Yeah,
something distinctly different than hip hop. You've seen that with the new. It's not.
he
We don't
didn't.
call it
He
gangster
didn't
rap
talk himself
anymore.
out
We
the
call
damn
it
thing.
drill rap. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
we got
saying?
kicked out.
That is something new and
But yeah, I
distinctive
Now,
mean,
of hip
now,
you
what
hop.
I
got
was
We
go
saying
ahead,
still
say
too.
what
have
you was gonna say,
gangster rap. You
Devontae.
know what I'm saying?
Now,
Like,
what I was saying too is every place got like a
so
regional sound and
I
stuff too.
think
So I think like
something
hip hop,
that
hip hop a lot of different things, man. I mean, I agree with you because I think like a lot of white people give they opinion on hip hop and
Yeah.
they think they the end all be all, but it's like, hey, bro, I don't tell you how to be the end all be all on green bean casserole, bro. It's like you can't. Oh yeah, I saw you do that, man. But not, but nah, man. I think that's the biggest thing, bro. Like, just having those black voices to be able to give opinions and stuff like that, and because I'm a big believer. There's hip hop for everybody, bro. There's a hip hop for everybody
God
because like
damn.
you got, and I think like the more we are like open to just trying different like music and listening to like a bunch of different stuff,
Mhm.
like and I think like that's the beauty of it because like a lot of people don't realize like hip hop like samples a lot of other genres, like a lot of beats are made from yacht rock or country music or some electric music, like so I think like hip-hop is one of the most beautiful genres because it's a blend of everything, man.
Mhm.
And I mean, with some of these, and then like like I said, there's something for everybody, bro. Like
Bro,
my
bro.
my one, like Nate, his favorite, one of my best friend Nate, his favorite, his most listened to rapper this year was this rapper named Mike, bro, who does like this lo-fi shit out in Brooklyn,
Yeah,
and it's
bro.
like so it's just dope.
I think when it comes to like this idea that we have to protect hip hop, we have to protect this art form. In a lot of ways, it's misplaced energy
Fuck
because
yeah.
the same amount of energy was placed on transforming our economic, political, and structural racial system in America, niggas would get the benefits of what they think protecting hip hop would be, which is protecting black identity, protecting black history, protecting black bodies. But they're just putting too much energy into something that is meant to be shared. It's meant to be contributed to. It's meant to be digested by multiple different cultures. You know, it's like food. Like, and
Yeah, and
I hear
people
you.
and the
I hear.
and the
Hold on. Let me
no,
land
the
this point real
crazy
quick.
tone is.
I
Well, I
hear
was gonna
you.
land a point, but it's like what you was. What I was saying is the people, basically, with the people that have tried to take advantage of hip hop and expose it for their own benefit, it never works out in the end. Like a
But
Vanilla Ice who wanted to just use it to make money. Like the people, I remember that rapper Little Xan that people was saying fuck Tupac and all that. It never works out in the end for those people because they were gimmicky. And name
but
anything that's been a gimmick that has worked out longevity.
pause. But what are we saying by working? What by worked out? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is our metric of working out? Is it the fact that they
When has
had?
it? Whenever they had long.
Hold up. Let me frame the question. I'm saying, are we saying it didn't work out because they didn't have a 10, 20-year career? Are we saying it didn't work out because they didn't manage to
Yeah.
amass millions and millions of dollars? Did we say it didn't work out because they don't have the adulation of fans? Because what I'm telling you is like, if you look at somebody who's looking at it like that person stole a spot from a black person or from somebody who I think should have had that level
Oh,
of shine on them, it did work out. You know what I'm saying? Lil Xan did for a moment have like insane heights of popularity that the vast majority of people won't ever see. He did make millions of dollars. Same thing with fucking Vanilla Ice. Same thing with Eminem. Same
oh.
thing with
No, I
Lil
was
Pump,
saying
who's
like the
not white but
gimmicks.
Mexican. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I
Like it's
was saying.
what
I
I'm
was
saying is
saying that the gimmicks eventually fade and they don't make as what I'm saying. Eventually, for the people that are like, oh, this hip hop is terrible. Like, yes, the gimmicky hip hop eventually fades, and you don't hear much music come from them anymore. Now, do they have maybe a pocket of fans? Yes, but name anybody that is a gimmicky one hit wonder type music or like get very gimmicky that can obtain that type of fan base. But that's all conversation for a different day because that is a conversation of how
to do
predatory
it,
these
to
labels.
be successful doing
th-
it, the art. You're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
but
how do you be successful and do hip hop and make it a career you can live off of. I'm just simply talking about the art form. I think both of those individuals contributed to hip hop. You know, it's like a capitalistic pop version of what hip hop was at a time,
it can
right?
be. Yeah,
And
yeah,
Little
yeah. I'm
Xan,
not saying they did.
Little Xan,
Hmm?
but I think Little Xan less so. I think Little Xan was just a pocket of time and period in hip hop that was indicative of an era. Niggas were no longer selling the drugs; they were doing the drugs. They rapped about selling drugs for so long in hip hop that niggas started doing drugs, and then when the niggas who started doing drugs started making music, and it hit with the youth that were making music, that's what you got. You got a reverb. You got a backlash to that, and now you're getting another version of hip hop where niggas are saying like it's like we're junkies
Fuck the
still.
streets.
No pause. We're junkies still, but now we're junkies and we're also gangster rappers. You know what I'm saying? We're sipping lean, we're popping Molly, and we're doing drills. Now we're getting to the point where niggas saying fuck the streets. Like at the end of the day, like it's art. It's a reflection of environment and it's a reflection of community. Like again, like I remember back in the SoundCloud era, I was talking to one of my white homies who made hip hop music, and we were talking about what's the direction you think hip hop's going to go in. And I told him I was like, I think you're going to start seeing a lot of individuals in hip hop spaces, a lot of black youth who've grown up not necessarily in the stereotypical trenches, right? But have grown up in like predominantly white society or grown up in more multicultural levels of society where they're getting, you know, different types of education but still being rooted in their blackness. And what does that art represent, right? You get like a Jaden Smith or you get like a Chance the Rapper. Well, that may not Chance the Rapper because he did come from an inner city level of Chicago. But even with Chance the Rappers,
Yeah,
they're
chance don't count.
but even with those inner city rappers, like they're doing different drugs than
You
like
get more
niggas
like well-rounded rappers. You get like
more well-rounded
you get
black
like rappers
voices.
like Earl. Yeah,
Because
you get like
remember
Earl
when you
Sweatshirt,
box hip
whose
hop
parents.
when you box hip hop into one sort of thing, you get the ability for capitalism to replicate it, right? Like if you're saying, yo, hip hop has to be these
Yeah,
criteria things, okay, cool. So we just grab a nigga, AI some lyrics, put him in a certain type of clothes, and give him this backstory. That's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And like I feel like that's like the one of the dangers you create when you're trying to gatekeep and say it's only a specific way this art can be done, whether rather than organically
bro.
seeing
I
where the
mean, the
art
thing is,
goes.
it's stupid.
Yeah, yeah. I think, and
Nah,
again,
it's
and
pretty
again,
stupid because like you gotta think about it,
is
like
that
cats
me
like
again?
he worried about my internet
Bro, what
connection.
the
His shit
fuck
is
is going
terrible.
on with the internet, yo? I'm
Yeah, God
sick
don't like.
as fuck right now,
Fool
bro.
me once, shame on me. Me and you.
Yeah,
Fool me
God,
twice.
God loves ugly.
Like dead ass sick as
That
fuck,
album was
bro.
alright,
I'm the
bro.
one who was talking about this shit too. Like,
Yeah,
why
I
is the
fucking love
computer
Jizz
still on?
album, man. That shit's fucking
Oh my
amazing.
God likes
god,
ugly,
bro.
bro.
At the
But
at,
nah,
at the end of the pod, though, I do want to play us my new fucking favorite song. You heard the Stove God Cooks,
Yo,
right?
Maya, what's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the internet
I'm
All
going
right.
to see. I'm going to see Clips tonight
Where at?
in Virginia Beach. I'm going with my friends.
Oh shit. Yeah,
They want.
nah.
They want to take.
My boy was there
This is
yesterday. When they was performing, he put some videos in the group chat and shit. Yeah, I
Yeah, they
definitely
want
would
to
love
take me
to
for
see.
my birthday.
Okay. Nah, that's mad nice. This nigga
Nah,
Stove got this new joint with DJ Drama though, and it's a single, but he doing a mixtape with DJ Drama. Devontae, when I tell you this shit fucking go crazy. I thought I was listening
nah.
to Jeezy and '06 for a second. I'm gonna
I'm
play
gonna
that
tell
joint
you.
at the end of the pod. That shit's
I'm gonna
crazy.
tell you something that was crazy, bro. That came out, bro. And I was like, damn, this nigga taking a minute
What?
to drop anything. That
what the
nigga Pooh
fuck?
Shiesty first day out, bro.
Oh yeah, that shit was
That nigga
insane.
said.
Yeah, I was up
He
in the
said,
gym
Grandma
going
said keep
crazy.
your. He said, Grandma said keep your grass cut low. Whole time I'm the
I'm
snake.
the snake, right?
I said, God.
Right.
Bro, this is
I
so
said,
hard to put
oh,
together now.
that's what
Like,
time we on.
Oh, but like that nigga, that's different too, bro. That nigga won't just rapping what he was doing. That
Hmm.
nigga was,
I hope
Yeah,
that
bro.
shit
But the me and
he was
Jabari
living.
actually talked about that.
I'm
There
I'm
are
hungry,
certain
bro.
niggas,
It's
bro,
just
in this
not.
rap
He
game
was living it.
that like they just rapping for fun.
Can't
You're right.
Criminal
Yeah.
activity
can't
is they.
believe it. And come back
But
out. I'm
like
about
I
to
be
walk
trying to
away.
That's what
explain
they
that.
get off on.
But I be trying to explain that to Jabari. He be like, oh, they get the money. But you see it every day. It's like there are some niggas that love being a criminal, bro. It's
Yeah,
like nothing give them a rush like being a criminal.
yeah, yeah.
Like
It's
like
it's
they
just
don't
what they
love
know.
prison. Yeah, and then it's like, bro, if your daddy was like that and they never told you to get out the street,
Hmm.
and then like I be trying to tell, like I think me and Jabari, but his, cause like I be trying to tell him like, bro, there's dead ass niggas with grandmas that are street niggas, bro. So like
Hmm.
when your grandma a street nigga, your granddad is street nigga, your daddy one, it's like
Hmm.
how niggas have generations of doctors. There's
Hmm.
generations of niggas that street.
Yeah. Like for a fact, born and bred, groomed,
I'm about to
legit to
say
be in street.
you still a public defender, but you was even on the state level where you like, this ain't this nigga first rodeo, bro. This
Yeah,
ain't this nigga first rodeo, and he okay with being like this.
yeah.
So I think
Real
like, but
shit.
yeah, bro, I think he got one of the best like little jump. Like he got one of my favorite first day outs, bro. But that nigga is goddamn.
Yeah, yeah.
That nigga is definitely a
I
criminal,
think that
bro.
is
That nigga ain't.
that's my favorite
That,
first day out for a fact.
that
Fuck
nigga
me,
is
bro.
not joking about being a criminal, bro.
My shit
Not at fucking all.
is
He
fucking
got
up.
lucky with the Fed sentence that he did get.
Oh yeah, that nigga is definitely still running a criminal enterprise, bro.
Yeah. He definitely got lucky with that. But he
But a
was
lot of them still, bro. A lot of them still for real, like in the criminal enterprise, bro. They just like I definitely believe, the nigga took a plea for a reason because I definitely believe YSL was they were doing some criminal activity, bro.
Oh, you talking
I
about Young
mean,
Thug?
yeah.
the nigga said nobody has ever touched Woody because they said that nigga got bodies. They said that nigga is slow, but he didn't kill some people, and them
Yeah.
niggas know what he capable of doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Cause I mean, the nigga still walking around in the hood doing what he ain't in no witness protection.
Can you hear
That's
me?
because niggas don't gotta be sometimes when you are like that. Don't get me wrong though. Griselda
Hear you a
Blanco,
little bit.
Griselda
All right.
Blanco had fled her country for what decades, and the moment that she stepped back foot, not the moment, but like the
Dog.
week that she stepped back foot into the country, she did get boom bam, right? So you can get touched,
I'm
you
so pissed
can,
off
but
right
at the
now.
same
Oh,
time, if niggas not checking for you, they not checking for you.
well, they talking about all what they trying to do is get the kids to stay out the street, so ain't nobody gonna touch him. But it's
Right.
like, but I was like, oh, that nigga. I mean,
Nah,
I like
he do
that
be
be the conversation.
antagonizing niggas.
Yeah, that's the conversation I be having with Jabari when he be like, oh, niggas see all this money and they still in the streets. I'm like, bro, that's all some of them niggas know. And I said, at the end of the day, bro, some of them niggas indebted with some of them niggas for life. So it ain't as easy
Yeah.
as, oh, I'm rich now, I can leave. Like, nah, them niggas still gonna find you, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, if a nigga fronted you some bread or you still owe to that lifestyle, bro, like, some niggas don't
Well,
care you got number
it
one
get to
song on the chart.
it get to a level though that you do willingly engage in that, right? Like you can like it get to a certain point if you do got enough bread, you can get out.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you pay back who you owed if you owe. You
Yeah,
talk to the right
exactly.
niggas. But
Exactly.
like, I agree. I
Move
think at
your
some
peoples
point,
from around all of that, and then like you out of it. Like when you move your peoples from around that, they not gonna know where your people stay at. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. Because if they know where
yeah,
your people stay at, they could get to you. But if they don't know where your people stay at, then that's so like
I
once you
think
get to
you're
that
right.
level, you good. It's people
I think,
willingly still engage in it.
well, it's like niggas that's still okay with being street niggas. It's niggas
Yeah.
that's still committing actual felonies that
No,
like, yeah,
some niggas just do it just to feel cool, just to feel like okay, I'm still here, I ain't switch up, blah blah. Like nigga, just because you not living there no more, don't mean that you switched up. It means that you bettering your circumstance and your family. Like
for sure, for sure.
but they
So
don't
I
understand. Like they're not able to get past that type of
rash,
mentality sometimes.
yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like they can't rationalize that. Like,
Yeah.
it's like
They
niggas
just
that
be having
still stay
survivor's remorse, right? Survivor's
for
remorse
sure.
is a very real fucking thing.
And
And
it's like
that
niggas that still want to stay in the projects because that's
yeah.
like they like, oh, that's all I know is the projects. It's like, god damn, bro. Like,
And they don't want
it's
to.
like
They feel guilty. They feel guilty for leaving the other people
Jesus
there. Like
fucking
they
for
feel
Christ.
sure,
guilty.
but everybody can't come with you because
Yeah.
What is going on
some
with
of them
my
What,
niggas
what
detrimental. I
you
mean,
gonna
that's
do
how
with
some of
it?
them.
Everybody
Hmm?
can't go.
the universe?
Yeah,
The
but that's how
universe.
some
My
niggas end up
it's
with
not working.
the crazy getting
hmm
involved in murder for hires like Lil Durk and stuff because it's like you just
hmm
want to take everybody with you.
That's a fact.
You want
That's a fact.
everybody that you grew up with, and you gotta realize some niggas gonna still do what they want to do. Some niggas still gonna be dangerous. Some niggas
Yeah,
still gonna be
I
criminals,
am
bro.
fucking
Yeah.
connected
I
to the
mean,
goddamn.
it's crazy. Like, niggas got number one. Will have a number one album, and they still affiliate with the nigga breaking in niggas' houses. Like nigga doing a B&E the night before and on stage with you
But at the
the
same time,
next day.
what Chief Keef said, like I can't control my niggas. My niggas can't control me. Like
For sure.
sometimes
But
you just gotta
I think
disassociate.
Chief, the best thing he did, he said, was he moved out of Chicago and
Yeah.
just went to a. He said, I went to a different state. I
Yeah.
grew up a little bit because he
Yeah.
did that little Zane Lowe jump when he dropped the Almighty Soul too, and he was like, I just
hmm
had to. He was like, I wanted my right state of mind when I first came out, but it's
Yeah.
like. I'll give him grace because like he was 16 years old, bro. You 16 years old
Going
giving
crazy.
millions. You already got a kid, so now you looked at as a nigga that got to take care of your family.
And
You
not only that, bro was fucking threatening whole fucking states talking about I'm gonna blow New
know,
Jersey up.
nigga was. I
Had beef with
mean,
a whole fucking state.
now I'm gonna tell you, bro. Me and my homegirl always say this nigga was real. She would be like, because like niggas was terrified of that King Von nigga, bro.
Oh
Yo,
yeah. Yeah.
they said there's a nigga. Oh, Jabari watched it. A nigga that said he a whole serial killer, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that nigga. They said nigga got high off that shit, bro. Nigga love killing people. I
I
read
said
a son. They said, yeah, he didn't get the. They
he got
said
a rush.
nobody wanted him. Hmm?
I said nigga said he got a rush off that shit.
Bro, they had a drunk. They was like, yeah, he ain't joined no gang because everybody just knew Vaughn was gonna do whatever he wanted to do.
Mhm.
It's like no gang bothered him, pressured him to join because from a young age they just knew
Right. He was on
he's
that
a
shit.
killer.
He was on that shit.
They say he good. He he'll run up in somebody's house, bro. Just let him do what he do. Everybody was
But
cool with him. They loved him.
my thing
Nigga was
is like going back to the hip hop conversation. My thing is that one of the things that Jabari did say is like we got to stop putting it into the box. I don't feel like we specifically put hip hop into a box. I feel like that it is these exact labels, right, that
for
tell
sure.
the artists what they want to hear. And like sometimes, a lot of times the artists like fight against it, but then other times some niggas be indoctrinated into the shit and like they assimilate. So then like you get motherfuckers like Ebro that get on and it's like, oh, I know the execs want to hear this, that, and the third. They don't want to hear
Yeah.
a little Uzi. So he's trying to tell them like, yeah, I know I'm gonna be here in 10 years because guess what? I'm pushing through what the execs want to hear, and as long as I'm following the execs fucking marching orders, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be able to still be the gatekeeper because they telling me what the box look like, and I'm making sure that the walls on that box stay up, right?
What?
So because he's
Jesus
able to make sure
Christ.
the walls on that box stay up. That's how the creation of the boxes of hip hop are
For
created.
sure. And people,
I
and the
do think
thing is, a
exacts
lot of
pushing.
people say when you sign to a label, which is true, like
Mm-hmm.
basically a label can be the death of your career because a label, so basically when you sign like stuff that's like your likeness, your
Mm-hmm.
ability to release music and profit off your music. So when you want to switch your sound up or when you enjoy a certain thing, unless you're like a legacy act, like a Kendrick Lamar, a J. Cole, a Drake, some of those lower tier guys are being like, people will be like, I didn't fall off. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
allowed to release music legally. Like I was being told that if I released music, I would be sued by, my label. And people don't realize like these labels are owned by other conglomerates. So they have infinite amount of power to be able to sue you and to be able to like keep you in litigation because eventually you run out of funds.
Yeah,
And
them
like
niggas.
a guy told me a few days ago, he said when you suing shit, eventually you'll get this settlement and then the goddamn lawyer take most of it because you owe them for all this time. So
Yeah.
you don't,
I mean that
so like a lot like
that was the problem with Drake suing
hmm?
UMG. Nigga was fighting the gods of the world, bro.
You fighting billions and billions and billions of dollars. So then you get caught up in all this, like, you just can't. I mean, it's David versus Goliath. It's like an uphill battle. So that's how like Joe Budden crazy as a bitch. But I listened to plenty of his podcasts where he's like after he was like, bro, I couldn't put out music at one point because the label didn't like what I mean. But now I will say with some people being younger and stuff, the younger generation has it a lot easier because of the internet and being able to be like, fuck a label. I could
Mm-hmm.
just put out some music and create my own buzz. Where, back in the day, nigga, you had to fucking go to a freak off with Diddy and then, hope he enjoy you. and,
Freak off with Diddy. You still not
and then
you
he,
still not get that album released. Jesus Christ.
bro,
That nigga was rapping on your
that's a evil
shoulder.
man, bro. I watched that, bro. Them niggas be like, yeah, Diddy be like, yeah, I'll put your album out eventually.
Great
Right.
transition,
While
Devontae.
he rubbing on your shoulders trying to give you a
Hmm?
massage or some shit.
I said great
You
transition
said
because
what?
I ain't watched it. I ain't watched the
Bro,
doc. How was it?
I watched it with the patients, bro. Bro, one of the patients was like, "This man's sick, bro." Because the dude, Lil Rod was like, "Yeah, I woke up and I was drugged, and I woke up with a sore bottom." And
Mm-hmm.
one of the patients was like, "Yo, nigga, if I woke up with a sore ass, and I ain't gonna keep going back." He said he
Mm-hmm.
liked it because he said, "Why you keep going back? Once my butthole sore, I know you saw." And he said, I'm just done. I don't want to make an album." The dude was like, "This was my only way in." He said, and
No,
then it was
But
pretty
they had the
cringy.
internet
but
back then.
did he know that he a
Wait, Little
predator?
Rod was the nigga that was working with them for the Love album.
The Love album,
Yeah, yeah, that's
Nigga,
what
yes.
he's talking about.
nigga,
Yeah.
we had online DSPs by that point.
He said, he's like, I put all this work in, and then he was like, and I just didn't want to go to waste, so I just kept coming back and doing the drugs and partying.
Jesus.
Even even psych patients were like, he might have liked that.
Yeah,
Nah,
nah, that nigga, you gotta think about it. That nigga Diddy was he a real life villain that preys on desperation, right? That nigga Rod was
Yeah, for
desperate.
sure.
I ain't gonna
And I
say,
think
you know
like
what I mean.
he's an
So you got to
exploiter.
be a man about shit, and you got to have principles. So I don't care how desperate you is. Like you said, Devontae, you wake up your motherfucking booty hole fucking store, nigga. Like get the fuck up out of there. But at the same
But
time, this nigga ain't had no bread. He was working damn near for free, and he was trying to get that paycheck. So
and he said
so
that he
yeah,
thought that at the end, if the album was as good as it was, but then like the thing is, it got Grammy nominated, and he was arguing with Diddy to get payment. He was
yeah,
like, I think what he said, he got like $2,500 or something.
I
He would
think he
some.
never
said 10,000
But
ten
I
at the
think
thousand,
most.
but 10,000 ain't shit to live off for a year.
well, yeah. I mean, shit. I make 10,000 in a month. It's crazy. What I'm saying is this though.
Flex then.
Little, little, little Rodney, the Diddy documentary. Diddy being a sexual deviant, exploiter, and literally using his money, power, and connection to fame as a way to manipulate both victims as well as accomplices is indicative of, I think, everything wrong with our country right now. And it'll go into the next conversation we're going to get to because I have mad technical difficulties, which is why I'm outside in the fucking car right now, using it as an excuse to smoke a J as well. But basically, like, the whole Epstein shit is similar to this Diddy
They
shit.
go in the
You have
game.
one man who got himself a little bit of money, a little bit of power, and through the use of intimidation, sexual abuse, and again, money and power, was able to victimize people for a lot longer than he should have been able to. All it would have taken, now I'm not saying all it would have taken, because again, there's victims involved here, but if there was a coordinated effort or more than just one person at one given time to say, hey, morally, this shit's not rocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if we should be in this room and all these bitches are drugged out talking about it's time to party, Playboy. You know what I'm saying? I see one underage girl on a goddamn island that's for
Island.
adults. I don't think we should be here, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And matter of fact,
Bro, I mean,
call 911. You know what I'm saying? Like what are we
not
doing,
bro,
bro?
bro. It happened to me, bro. That happened to me as an 18-year-old, bro. It
I was
literally
like,
happened to me as an 18-year-old.
what?
No, no, no. What I was saying was, I was at a kickback jump,
Mm-hmm.
and me and my brother 6 years apart, 6 years apart,
Mm-hmm.
and the girl was around my brother's age, and I
Mm-hmm.
tapped my partner and was like, I'm heading out because they were talking about how they had already G'd her, bro, and this girl couldn't have been no more than I was 18, 19, and some of them were 20, 21. And I was like, this girl like 13, 14, 15,
Ew.
and I just don't want to be a witness of nothing or
Yeah,
be around this right now.
because
Because,
again, if your science silence is complicity, and somebody got to be the. It's crazy, bro. It's like you in that moment knew something went against your moral caliber, and you made the wise decision to take yourself out of that situation and never put yourself in the situation again.
nah, man.
People again who have no control over their desires, who are victims to their goddamn lust, their temptations, this idea that money and fame is going to bring some type of fulfillment fall into these traps since the beginning of time. And again, it's an allegory. You know, what do they say? It's easier for you to fit a needle through the eye of a haystack or some shit than for a rich man to get into heaven, just because of all the shit that power entails. Corruption. Power is all corrupting. And so again, bro, it takes people, it is a necessity for you to have like dive within yourself to know what you are possibly able to fall victim to. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I
But
like bad bitches. You know what I'm saying?
it's the
But
conversation me and our other boy we be having where I'm like, bro, that money ain't gonna make you happy. Money can buy things that money don't make you happy. It can buy things that you may want, that you feel can fulfill you. But I never been the type of nigga that be like money gonna make me happy. And I think people that believe that live in a false like I get it, you know,
Money can't buy
no
you
dislike.
nothing but a quicker path to your own destruction, bro.
Because the thing what
I
that
mean,
nigga say,
money can buy you food and house and
what J. Cole say, ain't no disrespect to all my niggas out there living in debt, cashing the minimum checks. Bro, you can't appreciate. I tell people this right now. I work with a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people like, well, if I had more money, my life be easy, baby. If you can't manage $40,000, you ain't gonna be able to manage $140,000 because your same vices, as you say, your same demons. And the old saying says this: money doesn't change you. Money just makes you more of who you really are.
Yeah.
These
Okay, and
motherfuckers at the core.
also too though, I feel like the point of the Diddy story, and we can get off of it because we've hashed this topic to death. I really want to get to
Y'all
some Trump stuff, and then we can get out of here. And also one last conversation about reparations. That's our health topic for the day. But basically, what I want to say is the saddest part, I think, or not the saddest part, one of the saddest parts about the Diddy story, to me, it seems like all it would have taken was somebody at any point in the road literally saying, "Hey, I'm gonna break the cycle. I'm gonna break the cycle of abuse. I'm gonna break the cycle of exploitation." Because even with Diddy himself, his story of how he got into the industry is a sad one. It seems like he himself was victimized by the higher ups at these label systems prior to him becoming the head honcho, where he learned um, these patterns of abuse was from somebody abusing him. And again, it's not to I don't say that to take away from any of the wrongdoing that he has done and from any of the punishment he's receiving or what people think he should receive. I'm simply saying, man, if Diddy had had the resources or had had the ability and space to deal with the trauma that he experienced, and maybe instead of taking that shit and doubling it and giving it to the next person, he could have broken the struggle right there, and then maybe we'd be living in a universe where Diddy created one of the first black label systems that didn't just exploit black artists, but it like helped span a generation of black millionaires and black billionaires who actually felt like contributing back to black people, society at large, in a real instrumental way. Maybe we'd be living in a universe where Biggie and Tupac are still alive. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we would have got that second Cassie
J-
album.
Jabbar, I think you gotta watch the documentary. Diddy was gonna be who he was from the time that he was a kid. Unfortunately,
Okay,
but,
listen,
but
listen, listen, listen,
yeah,
listen,
it
listen,
was in
listen.
large part because his mom, right?
You said
Like we
what?
could have another conversation about boy moms and like moms that might enable shit, right? But even now, looking into the shit that he does now, his mom is one of his partners in crime. But like it started from when he was a kid. So yeah, the exact labels they might have groomed him a little bit more, but he was already into that type of
He's gonna
like
be who he's gonna be because
yeah. Diddy is
like
dead ass a
his
bad human
family
being.
enabled a lot of
Yeah,
his behavior.
somebody
And
in
he
order
was
to stop
very
it, somebody would have had to punch him in his face or put him down in the ground. Like, and that's just what it is. J. Cole tried punching him in his face, right?
Well, listen. Well,
But
listen.
yeah,
like
and
nobody
because
really tried putting him down
I'm
in the
there's
not
ground.
stories
listen.
about him at Howard.
I'm not
Yeah.
shooting bail. No, no, no. Like yeah, like the party where people died. Like I'm not shooting
No,
bail
no,
for
no,
Diddy.
no.
I'm
There
simply
was
saying.
like stories of him, like when he was a student at Howard, there were stories of him being very like sexually inappropriate. Like this is before he had any money. He was just a student that like he was all like he was very like there was like students that were female students that were terrified him of him on the campus because he would like try to break into the females dorm when they didn't go the right way with the woman and be
Listen,
very
listen,
like
listen. I am not
you got
shooting bail
issues.
for Diddy. If that's what it sounds like I'm saying, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, okay, cool. The nigga was a demon from birth. If we lived in a better society, we might have been able to like shackle that demon early on or some shit. It takes a fucking village, you know what I'm saying? Nobody at school was able to like why like again, we live in a world where like okay, we're having these accusations, we're having these
Yeah.
situations. Nobody can stop this nigga. He didn't have money and power then. You know what I'm
Jay
saying?
stupid. I just heard got what Jay said. They needed to put him down.
They did.
Jay saying nigga needed to go to sleep for the long haul.
The craziest part about that is they still haven't put that nigga down. That nigga's gonna be back on the scene in 3 years. And listen, if you don't think he's gonna try to be back in the spotlight in some shape or form, I got a bridge to sell
We're
you.
crazy. We're crazy.
I think, I think what we need to really watch out for is for the people who will bring Diddy back into the fold. He was already on an album this most recent cycle. I don't know if it was West Side Gun, but it was somebody's album. That's the type of shit that I think collectively as a society we can shame into non-existence. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, niggas. I love niggas, but I hate niggas because niggas love to jump in and
Side with
out
the
of their
abuser.
isms. Side with the abuser and jump in and out of their isms when it's in their purview culturally. There's this cultural cachet in it. You know, niggas love to make fun of Megan Thee Stallion when it seems like the hot topic to say that the nigga shooting her in the foot. It's funny, and then also like to jump back and be like, Diddy's a fucked up person. It's like, no, these are like kind of moral situations that speak to a deeper moral sensibility in your own character, right? It's not different, and I just think like like hopefully as a culture, as a society, we move to a place where we start giving a fuck more about these concepts every day in our everyday lives and everyday situations. So when they happen on a macro scale, or so it can maybe stop happening on a macro scale. But yeah, Diddy's a nasty nigga. We know that. Let's get into our real news of the episode. Let's get into this Epstein shit because that shit's crazy, y'all. Have y'all been paying attention?
They dropping the photos. My nigga out
Nigga,
here doing.
a
He was a
photo,
diva.
a photo.
I
My
said
nigga, this shit is fucking
photos.
the
I said
photos,
photos plural.
documents. So again, for the listeners who have been under a rock somehow, for the listeners who haven't been peeping into our any of the last 12 episodes from this past year, we are now in the final stages of the Epstein discovery
Hell.
saga. Because I say discovery saga because I demand that once we have the full documents, we cannot stop there because there is, I think, about 30% of this country that if they have it on wax that Trump is a pedophile, they'll just kind of be like, well, I mean, Woody Allen was allowed to keep making movies. You know what I'm saying?
He was. He was. Woody Allen was out here
We live in an evil
grooming his
world,
own child.
and we really can't let evil get away with it, especially when it's this fucking heinous, bro. But again, if you have not been paying attention, we are now officially in the end game, I think, of the Epstein saga. So, just to give a lot of niggas a quick, brief reiteration of what's been happening this past year since the Trump administration has been in office. It's we started out the year with Donald Trump winning the presidency and basically saying he'd seek to open the Epstein files. That led to February, where we had Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's about to be like Jay Bianca can tell us what she's at risk for because he's a fucking lawyer. But basically, she said that the Epstein client list was sitting on her desk. She's going to reveal it. That led to them giving binders to a bunch of far right influencers with information that was already known and redacted, so it wasn't really much. Led us to July, where these niggas again said, not only have we given you guys everything in the Epstein files, but Epstein didn't maintain a list. and there weren't any other sex trafficking leads to be looked into. That basically got us to the birthday book in July 17th when we had a 2003 photo album for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday being released, all the way up until this past month when we had Representatives Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, a Democrat and a Republican, coming together jointly to force a bill through the House of Representatives, then the Senate, and then officially signed by Donald Trump to release all the Epstein files immediately, effective immediately at the end of December. We were supposed to get basically everything we know, both from a investigative document search to actual documents from what they took out of Jeffrey Epstein's house. And this past week, because again, December 26th, we did start to get some of that shit. Okay, so where we're at now is a lot of niggas are looking like they're gonna get in trouble, and there is not just a billionaire pedophile sex trafficking ring that involved Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, but involved 18 other billionaire oligarch type niggas. All right, Devontae, you with me? You get all that?
Yeah, bro. I've been knowing these niggas all. Hey, Pizzagate is true, bro. I work with me and the
Listen,
schizophrenic
so yeah,
patients talk about it every day, bro.
yeah. So it's
Pizzagate
not
is very, very
so
real.
it's not just a list, my nigga. Like there's apparently videotape. There's redacted. So where we're at right now is we did not receive the full Epstein list. What we got was more documents. You can go on to different websites such as J Files or other online sites that have been put together to help you search through the Epstein files. Because one of the requirements that Thomas Massie and Rokana had for the Epstein files being released was that it was going to be in a searchable format. It's not. When you look at the DOJ's website, it's not a searchable format. It's not that easy. But there have been third-party sites that have been created to help you search through, I don't know, these files for certain code names like Trump. Um, but those sites have been created. And what we've learned from these sites and from the DOJ's website is that there's a whole lot of redactions that shouldn't have been redacted. So the main reason the Republican Party, Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, anybody with a C in their political leanings will tell you they have not released the full Epstein files, is that they want to protect victims. Go figure, with this most recent release, the only new people to have been exposed that weren't previously known by the public is a victim. They forgot to redact a victim's name from this new release of the Epstein files. But because the people who
Forgot.
live. You said what? Oh yeah, forgot. But no,
Forgot.
but I genuinely do think they forgot because the next piece of information that we knew, because you're asking me, Jabari, like, how do you know that there's other 20 people if everything's been redacted? Woo. So yeah, we currently live in one of the most amateur administrations in American history because apparently for these documents that you search up on the Epstein files, the way that you can fix the redaction issue is by simply copying the article and pasting it in a new PDF or Word document. They didn't black out the text on the individual paper. They just used Photoshop to highlight over in black marker the redactions. So not only do we have the greatest federal government conspiracy I've ever experienced in my lifetime unfolding in front of our eyes. It's being done by some of the most incompetent people we've ever had in public office. They got rid of DEI, and now they don't know how to use Photoshop. It's fucking crazy. So yeah, Devontae, it's not just a few files. It's not just 11,000 files. There's a whole lot of shit going on, okay? But from what we do know from these files so far is that Trump is most likely implicated, bro. We have testimony. There was a letter written by Larry Nassar, to Jeffrey Epstein. Do you guys know who Larry Nasir was?
Larry Nasser, you mean?
Yeah.
It's pronounced
Nasser, yeah.
Nasser.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Sick
nigga, yeah,
motherfucker. He was
oh yeah, the nigga that was fondling fucking gymnastics.
Penn State.
the
Yeah.
Olympics.
Oh
He
yeah,
The
was
yeah,
the
the
Olympics.
medical
Olympic.
doctor
The Olympics, yeah.
for the
Yeah, that's Jerry
female
Sandusky.
gymnastics
You thinking
Olympic
of?
team.
Yeah.
And he was
Sandusky, Penn State,
molesting
yeah.
those girls
NASA.
for years, bro. That
Yeah.
nigga wrote a letter to Jeffrey Epstein that we found out in this fucking document release. He wrote a letter to Jeffrey Epstein basically saying, yo, our president. He wrote this in 2000. He wrote this the first Trump presidency, 2017. Our president likes nubile young women just like we do.
Oh, yo, nubiles. That niggas. We
So
gotta, we
listen, when we
gotta,
said earlier there was niggas
we
commenting
got.
they wanted to sue me, bro. Your president's a fucking pedophile. What are we talking about?
Hey, bro, we
Sue
gotta
me for
start.
what?
We gotta. Hey, man, we gotta eliminate these with pedophiles, bro. A
Yeah,
lot of
we gotta
times
put
ain't
them
no
on.
reforming, ain't
Yeah,
no
we gotta
reforming
put
them. So we just
Fuck reform. The nigga's the most powerful person in the country who has been slowly but surely dismantling every little bit of a social safety net this country could even wish to other countries that they have, bro. He's the
we
worst
should
president
just we
in
gotta
our history. He might be the worst president in U.S. history, and other presidents own slaves.
hey,
And he's a pedophile.
Nixon was doing some crazy. Nixon had to resign.
But you know what Nixon? You know
Nah,
what Nixon
I
wasn't
was about
doing?
to say George Washington did have slaves' teeth in his mouth, so I mean, let's just put them all on evil field, on an evil even field. I ain't gonna say one worse than others. Slaves,
This nigga was
pedophilia,
fucking kids,
same
bro.
same thing to me.
Yeah, nigga
You
was
own a
fucking
slave, you need
kids.
to be put down. You're a pedophile, you need to be put down. Same thing to
Listen,
me.
listen. That's not even the only thing we see. Because some people, I know, we're gonna have some Trump supporters watching this. You know, the 30%, the cult, who are like, I mean, that was a letter written by a third party. What can we take from that, right? Dog, we now have evidence that this nigga, Donald Trump, was throwing parties at Mar-a-Lago for underage modeling contestants that we then have first-person accounts saying they were accosted or approached by Jeffrey Epstein at those parties. And some of you are like, that's gross, but parties are a big thing. And maybe there was a lot of people and things were getting mixed up. Again, I'm trying to shoot the weird niggas who are trying to like cape for this nigga some bail and then smack that shit down. Because guess who were the only adults? The only adults at these parties.
You
Trump and Epstein.
Thank you, Javiante. What the fuck are you talking about? Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were hosting two mans for underage
for
modeling
children,
contestants.
for
Bro, what
children.
the fuck
Let's
are
just
we
say
talking
children.
about, dog?
Lock
Yeah,
them up.
mind you, he used to host the pageants too, right? And when Trump used to
Can we
host the
lock
teen
him up?
pageants, he used to go backstage while they were getting dressed, while they
Let's
were
lock
getting
him
dressed, and
up.
make comments
Let
about them and their body. Like
Bro, these niggas,
this is
these,
normal
bro,
for him.
bro, and like, again, like,
lock
yeah,
him
we're
up.
putting pedophile at the top of the list for sick ass niggas. But we also need to talk about how sick are every one of these people in his administration who are fighting tooth and nail for this nigga to not be exposed. Pam Bondi, Javiante. So explain this
Hmm.
to me, because basically, so Pam Bondi is the Attorney General of the United States. She was tasked by both houses of Congress and the president to release the unredacted, except for the victims' names, Epstein files
Hmm.
by, I think it's December 20th or some date in December. And basically,
Yeah,
now that she has not done that, Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna are saying they can bring contempt charges against her. What does
they
that
can.
entail? Can we see her in jail?
I mean, yeah. So contempt
Not for long.
charges can carry some jail time and stuff like that. The likelihood that they're actually going to follow through with it is going to be very, very, very minimum. Like they're just trying to threaten her, but she knows that this threat doesn't have any real like teeth to it because in order for her to be prosecuted, she would have to be prosecuted by a federal prosecutor. Federal prosecutors fall under the AG and the executive branch, right? So they're all in the same portion. Like when we talk about checks and balances, this is the part of checks and balance that hasn't been used before, right? But they see that there's going to be a huge issue because who's going to prosecute the prosecutors? They would, yeah, they could assign a special prosecutor, which is perfectly fine, and they have done that in the past. The issue is that nobody is going to want to be the special prosecutor because everybody's scared of Trump, and everybody's just like Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is scared of Trump. They don't care about the justice. They don't care about the order of law. They all they care about is having their specific way or Trump's specific way and minimizing
But listen,
whatever damage they can to their
that
own lives.
sorry,
So,
sorry,
so no.
sorry.
All I'm gonna say is, yeah, she could go to jail, and being found guilty of contempt can carry a term of imprisonment. The likelihood that she would even be prosecuted for that contempt, even if Congress says we are gonna hit you with contempt, is very very low.
So listen.
And she knows that. That's why she has not followed it. That's the
Okay,
big
cool,
thing. She
cool,
knows
cool. What's it gonna take for somebody to go against this president, though? Because again, what we're talking about is historic disapproval levels. I think as more of the Epstein files, because again, we're over the holiday season right now. Like all this hubbub is happening, and it's December 27th. We're about to get into the new year, but once we get to mid-January, I mean, the country's going to shit. You know what I'm saying? He's had a reversal of not just popularity, but specific popularity that helped him win, right? Like he won with Hispanic men. I don't know. He won with Hispanic men, but in a year, he's already got 72% of Hispanic Americans saying, we don't like Trump. We will not vote for Donald Trump. Okay? Black Americans are out. Independents are out. There's going to be, again, I'm not a pollster from what I've been hearing. Most people's lows, Donald Trump's low is between 32% and 36% from his first term when it comes to polling data. I think we've never seen a historic fall from grace and fumble like we're seeing. Like a sex pest president, bro. I think we might get to like 25% of the country being like, we fucks with him still. At that moment, what is it going to take for somebody, in my opinion, to carve their name into history? Be the federal
Hey,
prosecutor that
what bruh
fucking
say that? What bruh, bro?
Pam
Because the
Bondi
issue
that takes
is,
down Donald Trump. Like, when are we going to get to the point where, like, hold
bro,
up,
it's
hold up.
like
Let me
it's
land the
like
point real quick, and you can tell me. Cause I kind of know where you're going to go with it. When do we get to the point where we're seeing Pam Bondi go? Because once Pam Bondi goes, then you can get Cash Patel out of there. When you can get Cash Patel out of there, you can get because the nigga John Bongino's gone. As you start to the way you can topple a despot is not necessarily always by tackling the despot first, but by dismantling the channels of what do you call it? Power or like the installation of power around him. You take out the little niggas one by one. It's like dominoes. Then you can get to the top guy. Because once you get Pam Bondi behind bars, you get Cash Patel behind bars for contempt, lying, perjury, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? You can get Christian Nome behind bars for doing illegal things against citizens with ICE. That's the other thing too. It's like we're seeing shit we've never like again. All stop. We read history. I get that. We, the current people who are alive, have never seen before. You know what I'm saying? So that we can finally get to the point of impeachment and removal from office. I think
it.
personally, this Epstein story has the power to do that. Because if there's one thing that Americans pay attention to more than anything else, it's scandal, bro. And what is more scandalous than the president of the United States of America being a fucking pedophile, dog? I think we
because
might
people
have
have to, because bro, um in your head like,
you in and out.
oh,
Can you hear him, Jay?
keep that. Can you hear me now?
Better.
Uh, yeah, better.
Hold up. Oh yeah. But what I was saying is a lot of people like they can rationalize with pedophilia because think about how often
Whoa,
people are
what?
you're not you're so
I'm,
quick. It's like, bro,
this is wild.
people can
This is wild. It's a
rationalize
wild
with
statement.
pedophilia because a lot of people are victims of pedophilia or are pedophiles themselves. Realistically, think about how many children or how many people you know that have been sexually abused as a child.
You
So
got
then,
you got white MAGA hoes saying, "Well, them kids ain't that young."
yes.
Legitimately, that's what they're saying to justify them kids
So
not that
my
young.
thing is,
That
people
was Megan Kelly.
rationalize with
Megan
pedophilia.
Kelly said that wild shit, bro. We're gonna post that video of her.
But people rationalize with it, and people, or bro, people because they're not that because they were teenage girls. It's easier for people to rationalize it because people are okay with sexualizing teenage girls.
Well,
Think
hold up,
about,
pause. And I don't mean to discount anything you're saying about a large majority of people in this country have been touched. What I'm saying is, do you think there's enough people who have been touched and I guess can forgive their an abuser because of I guess whatever positive things they bring them? There's enough of those people, and then there's enough of pedophiles who are just like, yeah, we see one of ours going in the country to discount them doing anything about this current president.
bro. Think about what bro
Because
said in that Whack 100 interview when he got mad and he
if
said
this was like
everybody in here know a
like the
pedophile.
hold up. If this was like
He's not the first pedophile. He's not the
pause.
first pedophile
First
president,
known
bro.
pedophile president for sure, Devontae. What I'm saying is, if Trump was giving something tangibly good to Americans to have them disconnect from what's happening on the federal scandal level, I would agree with you. Like, for example, if people's premiums weren't about to rise to the sky, if not only did he pass an executive order to reschedule marijuana to Schedule 3, he just made marijuana federally legal everywhere. If we weren't seemingly about to go to war with Venezuela for oil, and a lot of Americans didn't
Giving
have
out more,
that.
gave out more stimulus weekly.
Pause. He's giving out $1,200 checks, not giving $40 billion to Argentina. I would agree with you and say, yeah, enough, especially white people, would be able, white people, and then people who cape to capitalism, white nationalism, would be able to be like, yeah, that pedophile shit is crazy, but yo, shit. The way that check though, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have that. Like, literally, all we have right now is everybody on every television show saying stuff is shit right now. I know you feel it. That's why you voted for this thing again. That's why you didn't feel comfortable about voting for Kamala. But guess what? Also, the president's a pedophile? Like, I feel like we are going to see. I'm hoping. I'm going to have revolutionary optimism right now. Because, yes, it is very pessimistic, our history, when it comes to this type of shit. And so I could be nihilistic with it and say, it's all going to blow up. Fuck it. Get yours. It's all blowing up. I'm going to have revolutionary optimism. I think we're going to see another president either die in disgrace. I don't know how. I'm not saying anything if it'll come for me. Or we might see the second president or third president, I guess, impeached and then removed from office, or go up for impeachment trials, impeached and removed from office. I think we might see Pam Bondi go to jail. I think we might, or at least get fined to oblivion. I think we might see a lot of the people in this administration being shunned from society in a similar way that like Rush Limbaugh or Dick Cheney, like yeah, from that elite society they were still there, but like yeah, when Dick Cheney died, it was still big rest and piss by like almost everybody in the media. You know what I'm saying? I
Hey,
believe we still live in
I
a
was like,
world
I
where
was
actions have
okay.
consequences, and I think I pray that Americans are against pedophilia to the point where it's like, yeah, we can't have the president being a pedophile. Like, you gotta go, G.
Nah,
I'd
niggas is
rather take the
okay
nigga
with it,
like
bro. Because
before. Listen, I would rather have the nigga who apparently fucks couches in office than a fucking pedophile, bro.
I'd rather have the nigga that cheat on his wife.
Shit,
He said, Sherrone Moore, be president. You just cheat on your wife.
right, right.
morally, morally impure, but hey, we can work with it.
There's a lot of things I'd rather the president. I'd rather the president be addicted to heroin before he's a pedophile. You know how many functioning heroin
We've
addicts
already.
are out there? Meth addicts. They say, yo, shit. Speaking of drugs, did y'all see that they said Marco Rubio on that stuff? That Colombian superpower?
Nah, bro, but I'm okay with niggas being on drugs. That shit don't bother me, bro.
Yeah, it just bothers me that the nigga's a fucking pedophile. You know, Jesus Christ. But I think we've beaten this topic to death.
Yeah, I'm about to
All
take
right.
a nap.
Well, hold on, no, nigga, don't pull pause. Stay with us. We got 20 more minutes, and we done. Then you can go take a
Nah,
nap.
bro, I gotta get up, bro.
Nah, you got 20 minutes. Be tired. Listen, let's get into our last few topics. Just some run through what this Donald Trump administration has been up to, because then I want to get into our health topic, which is basically reparations and how I think reparations are a big answer to society, because it's not just
It's
giving money
okay.
to
I got
black
about
people.
10 minutes myself. I love y'all, but I got about 10 myself.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right,
Yeah, I gotta
niggas.
go to sleep, bro.
All right, niggas. All right, all right, all right. So guys, watch out. The Trump administration officially just ended the SAVE plan. So the student loan plan that helped you pay back your loans in a more affordable manner has been ended. They've also switched over all of the servicers. So check that out. Jasmine Crockett, I guess she made some pro-Israel statements. I think she takes APAC money. Jasmine, we love you. Please, please, please give that shit back. You do not need it. All Democrats in 2026 who are running, do not take Israel money. Do not take APAC money. It is indicative of where you stand. It is a big no-no. Okay?
Jabari, we can't beg her not to do anything. Seriously, her,
No,
AOC, all of
I'm
them,
not
they're
begging
they're
her. I'm
they're,
not
they're
begging her.
telling
I'm
us
saying,
where they
baby Jasmine.
stand.
I'm saying, baby Jasmine, if you want the vote, do not take the
She
money.
she saw what happened to Kamala, man. She better chill the fuck out. That's all I gotta
We're just
say.
listen. A great way to communicate in your relationship is what's not spoken can be misunderstood. What's spoken should not be misunderstood. We are saying, Jasmine Crockett, do not take the APAC money. I'm not begging. You won't get the vote if you take the money. That's it. Moving on, though.
That
Again,
part.
we might be going to war with Venezuela, my niggas, over oil, a war of attrition by the U.S. federal government, because Republicans are fucking crazy. Donald Trump is fucking crazy. They are committing acts of war. They're committing war crimes, bombing civilians. Oh, I can't get it. I mean, I could definitely get enough. We got to ban AI, okay? Sam Altman is weird. That nigga from Palantir who's doing goddamn chair sit-ups while he's on stage looking like he's also cracked out is weird as fuck. Okay? I don't I don't believe, from what everything I've seen, and humble as my opinion may be, AI has brought us any benefits to society that takes away from the detriments to the climate pollution, to the decreased water availability in these communities, to the increased electrical charges for having these data centers in your backyard. I think we just need to stop. We need to pause until we figure out a lot of other shit. We don't need artificial intelligence, and damn sure
What do niggas use
all of
it
it.
for?
Huh?
What do niggas use it for?
Nothing positive. I mean, or nothing like curing cancer, like they said it was going to. Nothing like making all of our lives more simple. It's just
I
taking away
mean,
art,
I
or attempting to take away art, bro. Like,
I
again,
use it. I use it just for fucking like workouts.
exactly. It's superfluous, and for the damage it's doing to society and the planet as a whole, I think collectively, as a community, we have said no more AI. Okay, so that's another big thing on the voting blocks to come up in 2026. Okay, but yeah, man, let's get into our health topic of the week. We've been here for a while. It's basically a video that I wanted to show on the podcast. So I guess I'll play it because again, I'm in the crib. Y'all tell me if y'all can hear it or not, because I'm gonna try to play it off of my what do you call it, phone. But it brings up, it's a professor that I've been watching on Instagram every now and then, and he's basically talking about the idea of reparations and how to fully actualize reparations in society. It would require a lot of change in a lot of different areas, both on a healthcare, housing, education basis that would benefit all Americans. And he says he describes it so succinctly and so efficiently that I would really like y'all to see it. So the first video though
Who
is people saying,
who is
no,
this? Is this Dr. Darity? Sandy Darity?
no,
Okay.
this is
Umar
Julius
Johnson.
Julius A. Doyle. He's a PhD, a university professor, anti-racism educator, does live seminars and live Ask Him Anythings.
So he Dr. Umar Johnson.
No, because Dr. Umar Johnson is a psychologist. He PhD in other areas. Do y'all hear this? You said what?
I can't hear nothing. I'm just thinking about Black Queens Forever.
No, we don't hear anything. Black Queens
Shit,
forever. Snow
shit,
bunnies
Snow
never.
bunnies never.
Snow bunnies never.
That's all
fuck.
that
How do
matters.
I put something on my screen? This is gonna show me. Damn, if I was on my computer, I could fucking do it. Damn. So I guess maybe what I'll do is I'll place the video in the caption, or our
Yeah, pin the
Link.
video to the bookmark.
yeah. I'll pin the video to the bookmark, but then I'll also maybe insert it in the YouTube video afterwards. Probably not, but I'll definitely post it to the Instagram page. But yeah, so the concept of what he's saying is basically there's a few underlying things that need to be done to make reparations uh, work. And basically he's saying we need universal health care, decolonize education, abolishment of gerrymandering, federally mandated equity, tuition free college, a demilitarized police, dismantling mass incarceration, desegregating communities, dismantling radicalized wealth building, reallocation of wealth, financial compensation, which that's the big thing, financial compensation to blacks. That's all people hear when they think of reparations. And then maybe even universal basic income, reinstating voting rights for former convicts. So again, like that
I
list,
think.
you said what?
No, I was just saying. I think communism has its perks, bro.
For sure. But and of course there was
Socialism.
communism baked into some of those proposals, but again, those proposals right there are what Dr. Boyle considers the actual conversation around reparations. And when you look at those um, points of contention, the only one that, again, people who are racist, who believe black people, or ignorant, who don't believe black people deserve reparations, focus on the financial compensation piece and not all of those other pieces, which would in turn benefit themselves. You go find me a poor white person, poor Hispanic person, poor Asian person, just a poor American who wouldn't benefit from universal health care, who wouldn't benefit from tuition free college, who wouldn't benefit from a dismantling of radicalized wealth building, which basically means we live in this asset economy where individuals can take taxpayer pool money, get different subsidies, and then also take the profits from their company, buy back their stock, and continue to take out of the pool of revenue from you and me. Who does that help?
Yeah, so I I completely I completely agree with the doctor. He is a doctor, James Doyle.
Yeah, he's got a PhD.
Okay. Yeah, I completely agree with Dr. Doyle, and that's something that I've been advocating for a large majority of this time, right? Because even when you talk with Black people about reparations, and they're like, "Oh, well, we as a community, we're not going to know what to do with money." All right, first of all, you sound like a coon because why do you feel like why are you watching other people's pocket? Just because it don't matter that they don't know what to do with the money. Give them the money, and I guess what? We are very, very opportunistic and great in understanding what we have with us. We make shit work. So give us more money, we're gonna make shit work. But notwithstanding that one point, I have to remind them that reparations does not look like just cash reparations. And for all the reasons and all the things that Jabari just said, right? We can do things. Reparations ultimately is one to repair us as a black people, but also um, to shorten the racial wealth gap in this country, right? The racial wealth gap in this country is so astronomical, and it's solely because of how black people have been treated. That there are a number of things outside of just straight cash that will help go towards that, and that's all of the things that Jabari mentioned. Whether that's free schooling, whether that's mortgage prices, right? Mortgage prices that either one, you have no interest on those mortgage rates, or two, you have some type of grant program or some reparations program that allows for home ownership. Things that traditionally we have been axed out of, and that we have been purposely kept out by design, right? And that's what the reparations portion comes from, right? All of the redlining, gerrymandering, redistricting that happens when too many black people move into one portion, or we become too concentrated that our voting power becomes too great. So now they're trying to split up our voting power, right? All of that goes into reparations. So yeah, I'm 100% on board. I completely agree. I've been shouting it from the mountaintops, and I'll continue to shout it because it's going to be a lifelong goal.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
no. And again, for those of you listening who aren't black, for those of you listening who don't feel like you fit in on the right side of conversations about reversing different racial dynamics in the country, on just a self preservation tip, doing the things we're talking about would benefit you. Desegregating communities, because we already, a lot of us live, especially when it comes down to like poverty, live on a desegregated basis. You know, um, an ethno community in America is kind of like a privilege thing. You know what I'm saying? Choosing who you get to live next to, but that benefits everybody. Okay, so if you are desegregating the neighborhoods and then you're adding free universal health care and you're building more hospitals or more clinics or child daycare areas in areas of minority high minority density, you're going to hit broke white people. You're going to hit broke Hispanic people. You're going to hit broke whoever or working class whoever. Let's stop saying broke because, again, we know the statistics on how they just said really family of four, you got to have $134,000 or more, or you kind of are living in poverty. Working class,
Javionte.
40 to 60 people who consider themselves homeless have jobs. Like, I understand the reality we live in, and that being said, doing this thing would benefit everybody who is
Uh,
hurting. And
for
so,
sure. And as a member, as the only member of the working class on this podcast right now, you know, I feel it.
nigga, what?
What are you talking about? Shut the
Nigga, like,
fuck up.
I work blue collar. I'm about to go out to sea to be on the oil rig tomorrow. But nah, either way, bro. Either way, though,
He said he about to be on the oil rig tomorrow. God damn.
I think we have to get away from its exclusionary thought patterns in this country. And yes, that is mostly or like most seen when it comes to like racism in this country, but also classism, also otherism, also sexual preference and how people get weird about that. You know what I'm saying? It's all this otherism we got to get away from because every time you start playing an otherism in your politics, you're most likely hurting yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're making the world an unsafe place for the other, which in turn makes it unsafe for you. You know, we've talked about that on a multitude of different spectrum you can go back to. Like any of our conversations on any of the turmoils going on in the world. But yeah, guys, let's end it there. Let's get our content of the week. Let's get out of here. What y'all
So
got?
So I've been itching for this content of the week. I told Devontae about it already before I have to hop off here. I don't know if you know who Stove God Cook is, Jabari. He's part of
Mm-mm.
Griselda. He was on that fire song with the Clips FICO. He was on that hook. You don't
Okay.
know what I know him. All right. He got this
Mhm, mhm,
crazy
mhm.
ass single with DJ Drama. They about to drop this mixtape. I promise you, I
Mm-hmm.
heard this bitch and I thought I was listening to '06, '07 Jeezy. Hold on.
Man, I ain't never like Jeezy.
Hold on. Hold on.
It's every trapper's favorite new trapper. Hey, Stones.
I ain't gonna play the whole song. Just a quick clip.
Powder on the Louis, been stepping on coke. These sucker niggas hang they self. If you give enough rope, got Chanel life jackets by the store and kiss it don't float. Next time they stand my brick, make sure it's a goat. Make sure it's a goat. Smelling work cooking in the air tonight. I smell blood money in the air tonight. I can smell a raid in the air tonight. I smell dirty money in the air.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
just a
I
clip.
like what I heard, bro.
That's
I
just a
like
clip.
still.
Man,
I don't even know if
listen.
I really heard what I heard, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm about to go get some bricks, bro. I'm on the way right now, bro. Jay, where you at, bro? I need you on retainer, bro. About to go get me a couple bricks
I
off
just
the
got the clip for
essays.
y'all. That's Stove God's Cook called Goat Stamp. DJ Drama. All right, my
You
bad.
got
Go.
any content of the week, Devontae?
I've been watching this show called Landman on Paramount Plus. It's about it's Billy Bob Thornton kind of playing an alcoholic like he does in all his movies. Um, if you need an alcoholic, he's the go-to. But it's been honestly pretty rewarding series. Like he's a landman on like a bunch of oil company out in West Texas, and talk about like the cartel involved, and his, it's got a little bit of love, a little bit of like action, just little twists and turns. Talking about billionaires and how they kind of like one of the themes he always says is more money that he said money breaks families apart. Sometimes you're just lucky just to make the money. Shows how like the oil industry like kind of like capitalizes off of like it's so like most people that work in the oil industry make upwards of six figures, even the crew members, because it's so dangerous. Like the bitch can blow up, kill everybody. And it says that like basically it will use that people are felonies or lack a lot of education. They'll just teach them how to do it, because eventually with the overtime and the hazardous duty pay, they'd be millionaires.
Okay, cool.
So it's been cool little joint. Stayed up Christmas night watching it.
Yeah. All right. I don't have any content of the week. I feel like. I mean, no. I've forgot to post or forgot to save the video I think I had for y'all. I guess I'll just say my content of the week is the last book I read, The 100 Years War on Palestine. Posted it on my book thing on fucking Instagram, so you can go take a look at that. But for real, I mean, literally one read. I mean, I was already sympathetic for Palestinian life and an advocate for their decolonization and their liberation, but this book puts everything in such academic historical context that it kind of makes you look at the world a little different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But on that note, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Bullshit for your health. Thank you for listening. As always, it's free Palestine, free the Sudan, free the Congo, free all persecuted people in the Americas. Down with Trump. Love y'all. Happy New Year. Merry
Free
Christmas.
R. Kelly.
We'll see y'all in February.
Keep R. Kelly, keep Diddy. All right,
Oh
go.
shit! I
Free,
feel like I
free.
got it. I feel like I gotta get to the goddamn computer inside. Peace. Running, running. But yeah, I guess real quick for myself, I want y'all all to have a great 2026. Hit all your goals. But as always, love y'all.